Ranger Stadium. It's a beautiful night. And as you mentioned, the Lake Highlands Wildcats, the Jesuit Rangers, 2 of the 3 undefeated teams here in the district clashing tonight. It's senior night here for the Rangers, 24 seniors and their families getting recognized out on the field. I think it's shaping up to be a great evening.
It certainly is. But before we turn our attention fully to tonight, let's be reminded of what happened last week right here on these fields. Jesuit pulled out a 17-14 victory, a 36-yard field goal by Magoo. The Cooper Magoo was the difference. But look at these stats, Kevin.
19 first downs for the Rangers. Beck Berry settling in, I think, a little bit here after 3 games in district in the season now, Tom. 166 passing yards, 145 yards for the Rangers on the ground. And ultimately, as you mentioned, the Magoo field goal was the difference in that game.
Yeah, it absolutely was, and it was such a big win. And you just talked about Beck Berry, and I think he's been running the ball so effectively. You started to see that during the Highland Park game, but really getting comfortable. They like to roll him right, Kevin, and he's been dangerous, always looking for his dangerous receivers. He's got Shane Parker, Cade Kirby, Konings. He's got a lot of good ones.
We've talked about it a lot, obviously, already with Barry making the switch from receiver last year to quarterback. It's taken him a couple of games, but now he's settled in. He's got 676 yards on 73 of 127. When he passes on first down, Tom, he's 30 of 42, completing 71%. As you look at the numbers here for Parker and Kirby, Parker last week versus the Mustangs, 72 rushing yards. It's great to have him back from an early injury in the season, 1 for a touchdown. And then Cade Kirby, 71 receiving yards, 1 for a touchdown as well. I think we'll continue to look to these seniors to be star players for us for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and both of those probably the 2 most electric playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. Harlan Buechler, who is the fastest Jesuit Ranger, still out with injury. They hope that he can still make his debut here this season. You know, he is one of the district champion in several of the track and field events. He's a speedster, but Kirby has been outstanding. Shane Parker has been great, and it's been really good to have them both. Remember when Jesuit lost to Highland Park the last time Babe Laughenberg joined us, they did not have Shane Parker, and so he's been a welcome addition.
Absolutely, and as we've mentioned, this offense starting to get into rhythm a little bit. They look to stop a tough Lake Highlands team this week, but Jesuit, I think, starting to come into their own a little bit, Tom, after a couple of games in district. We had that break, 0-3 at the beginning of the season in the non-district schedule, and now this is really where you start to make your money as we look towards the playoffs here in just a few weeks.
So we'll put the bow on last week, and now we look ahead to tonight against the Lake Highlands Wildcats. I know we're going to take a look at the starting lineups here in just a moment as well, and Jesuit does have a couple of players that are on the offensive line, starters who are out, and we'll look at the starting lineups when we come back from a break. But Kevin, I think the biggest notable thing is that last week Luke Cutler, who is one of the starting offensive linemen, got injured. He's out, it looks like, perhaps for the rest of the regular season, and that's a big loss. They also had their starting center out already, so 2 offensive linemen out, so some guys are going to have to step up tonight, and we'll take a look at them in a minute.
That's right, next man up.
All right, so let's take our first commercial timeout. When we come back, we'll have our coaches interview with Brandon Hickman, and then we'll welcome to our broadcast the great Babe Laughenberg. So don't go away, stay with us. When we come back, you'll hear from Brandon Hickman. You're listening to Jesuit Ranger Football on the Ranger Sports Network. Lake Highlands versus your Jesuit Rangers. We'll be back in a moment.
Hey, Mom and Dad, I'm calling because I wanted to tell you about this all-boys Catholic school here in Dallas. They have so many different classes, even AP and dual credit ones, and over 100 clubs and sports I can participate in. There's also a huge focus on faith and service, which I'm really interested in. Gosh, there's so much more. They have an open house on November 16th to learn about it. We go check it out. I really want to. Oh yeah, I'm so excited I almost forgot. The school's name is Jesuit Dallas. Love you. Bye.
Number 32, Noah Severio, son of Jason and Judy Severio.
Okay, pregame show in 3, 2, 1. Welcome into the Barrel and Bones pregame show on the Jesuit Ranger Sports Network. Brian Henry here with head coach Brandon Hickman And Coach, it's another pregame show where we're talking about coming off a victory.
Yeah, it's exciting. I thought the kids really played hard last week against a good Pierce team, and it kind of got interesting there late in the game, and it went back and forth there, and we were able to take the ball down at the end, and Cooper Magoo made a really big field goal there to seal the win. Our defense got a big stop at the end as well. Then we were able to run the clock out, but really proud of the guys for battling. Like I said, it went back and forth at times. When they had the interception for a touchdown, it didn't look great, but our kids never batted an eye, and they kept playing, and I was really proud of the way that we handled that.
Your offense had another good, strong offensive day. The points weren't there like they were a week before, but you also had full fields that you were having to play against, not a 40-yard field after some great special teams play. How have you been? How pleased have you been with the progression of your offense and your offensive line? Because they've been asked to do a lot in the last few weeks.
I've been pleased with the offense. I mean, we're doing some good things. I think the main thing is we need to, we're running the ball pretty well. We still got to get better up front. We're young in some areas up front. We got a lot of these guys that are going to be back in a year. We have a couple sophomores we're playing too, which I haven't had since I've been at Jesuit. So, pleased with the way we're playing. I'd like to get our passing game going a little bit more. We will. I think that the run game has really kept us in ball games, and I think that, by being able to run the football, we're able to use the clock. And, we had a couple really long drives the other night, which I was happy with. I know we had a 17-play drive, took up a lot of time. I think that's who we are this year. I've always been a tempo team, but I think with a younger bunch, some guys up front, we might have to slow things down a little because we're playing really good defense. And so, you got to be able to tweak it and change it each year. And I think this is a year where we're going to be a little bit more methodical, play really good defense. And so, but yeah, proud of the offense as a whole, really proud of our defense the other night for the job that they did.
Speaking of your defense, they're going to have to step it up. They've got probably one of their better tests they're going to face tonight against Lake Highlands and Chuck Smith and his offense that he captains as their quarterback. What's your game plan on that?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to tackle the tailback. He's number 15. I mean, he's a good player. He's committed to SMU, and he's a big running back. And then the quarterbacks, he's a guy too. We're going to have to try to make some plays on. We're going to have to try to create a turnover or two. That's going to come down to turnovers. It's going to come down to special teams. That's something we're really emphasizing this week is special teams. We need to win the special teams game. I think that's going to be really big in the game. And then, like I said, tackling what we talk about every week and blocking, and staying on your blocks, sustaining blocks. But, we've got to get him on the ground. Christian Rhodes, he's a good back. And there's a reason why he's had a lot of offers, but our kids are up for the challenge. They always are, and I'm real excited about playing this game Friday, and I know our guys are too.
Before Friday, you got a full slate of sub-varsity games on Thursday. What have you seen from those programs in the last week or two?
I've seen some exciting things. I think we have a really good staff down there working with these kids, and we're able to carry 3 freshman teams, which is very unusual. Most programs in the state, they do not carry 3 freshmen, and we're fortunate enough to have 3 teams and playing a league, and so it's exciting for those guys. I know our white team had a really big win over Capel last week, and they get to play Allen for the 3rd time this week. Then our blue teams had success this season as well, and then our gold team, beat Pierce last week as well. And JV, we struggled a little bit on our JV, but those guys are going to be in good shape. We've taken a few sophomores off that JV bunch that have played on varsity. We've had to play some younger guys this year, but I'm real proud of the kids, the sub-varsity guys. They give us a good look every week as well, the JV kids of the upcoming opponent, and then we get to spend a lot of time with them running plays and doing different things schematically that we do on defense and offense with those guys. So the future's bright for sure. I'm excited that we have a lot of kids in the program. I think we're looking at right now with about 255, 60 kids, and really excited about the future of Jesuit football.
Well, the future is bright, but this tonight we will celebrate senior night. So we will honor those 24 seniors that you do have in the program that have been through to build it to what it's been and been a part of some really successful teams. What does it mean for you? I know it's a little early in the year to do it, but just with the way the calendar falls with homecoming, senior night's tonight.
Yeah, it always seems like it's a little bit later, but hey, we'll take it now. We got a special group of seniors. I think we've got 25 seniors that have just done a great job, that have been a big part of our program, that are all bought in. That's the main thing. Anytime you have seniors, we've had bigger classes. But these 25 guys are really bought into what we're doing as a program. And I get to meet with the captains once a week in my office, and I've really enjoyed getting to know these kids, on a different level than just on the field, because we're always so busy when we're at practice. But really special senior group. We've had some really great senior groups over the years, and this one's special. They care about each other. The team's chemistry is really good. And that, anytime you got that going on, it's your seniors that are taking control of the team, and that's what you want. I always say that player-led teams are great, coach-led teams are good. And when you have a player-led team, we want them to have ownership in the team and have a say. And these guys are putting in the work every day. And but yeah, real impressed with those guys, and looking forward to celebrating them Friday.
Okay, well, good luck, and hopefully we'll be talking about another victory
All
next
right,
week.
Thank you very much.
This has been the Barrel and Bones pregame show.
With all of the classes, clubs, and activities here, the possibilities are endless. I honestly don't know of anywhere else where I could be an innovator, an athlete, and a leader while pursuing rigorous academics and forming lifelong friendships. There's truly something for everyone.
Welcome back, Tom Walsh, Kevin Fitzsimmons, the great Babe Laughenberg, Henry Gidio will be spotting for us tonight, and of course, Chris Martinez, the class of 1978 Gold Ranger Award winner, will be crunching the numbers. We'll hear from him as well. Hey, Kevin, how about our title sponsor on Ranger Football Night?
Right, Veritex Bank is proud to serve as the official bank of the Jesuit Dallas Rangers. We share a strong commitment to serving the community and making a difference in the lives of others. Learn how our shared values make Veritex Bank and Jesuit a winning team at www.veritexbank.com, member FDIC.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin. How about the keys to the game? We just heard from Brandon Hickman. Why don't you talk about those for a minute?
Yeah, keys to the game tonight. Tackle the tailback. Lake Highlands has number 3 and 4 in rushing leaders in the district. We want to take care of those guys tonight in the backfield. Create turnovers on the defensive side of the ball, especially early. Want to make sure that this defense can help fuel our offense. And lastly, win the special teams game. We've seen it over and over on big kickoff returns, Tom, have a huge jump for the Jesuit offense. When we can start with good field position, that allows the offense to flow right from there.
All right, Kevin, let's bring in now the special guest, one of my great friends who I'm so glad has agreed to do a second game with us. 29 years on the Dallas Cowboys broadcast network, 17 years, I think, as the sports anchor of Channel 11, and one of the great all-time people in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, the great Babe Laughenberg. Babe, good to have you tonight. And I know this is a big one because I know that you've got a connection to the school. Of course, Joe Willie graduated from here, your son, but you also know some of these Lake Highlands players.
I do, and I'm going to feel bad if Chuck Smith, the quarterback, both Joe Willie and I worked with Chuck. He was 10 years old. Now he's throwing it around, doing a great job for Lake Highlands. And I must say, Joe Willie worked with him more than I did. I kind of was in a supervisory role, but Joe Willie worked with him every day. And good kid, great family. His parents are here. Just talked to them before the game. I asked Chuck on the field, I said, Chuck, this is only a 2-digit scoreboard. I know you guys score a lot of points. Do I need to get an engineer down there to put up 3 digits? And he assured me that he didn't think they would put up 100. But I got to tell you, too, very quickly now, I worked a game. Brad Sham and I worked a game. Dan Rather did the game with us.
Yes.
In 2001. And it was so great having, obviously an iconic, a legend, whatever word you want to throw in there. And having Dan Rather in the booth in New York. We were playing the Giants, and, of course, he was at the time anchoring the CBS Evening News. And he couldn't have been kinder. Matter of fact, we were a couple of breaks into it, We had play, commercial, and he said, Babe, now, am I talking too much?
Wow.
And I said, Mr. Rather, I appreciate you saying that, but you're Dan Rather. You talk all you want. But with Kevin in the booth, I feel the same way as when I sat next to Dan Rather, sitting next to the great Kevin Fitzpatrick.
Thanks so much, Babe. Well, I was going to tell Tom it's a pleasure to be with Tom. It's an honor to be on the call with Babe, I think, tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, Kevin Fitzsimmons was the Bishop Lynch Award winner here at Jesuit Dallas, and I know for the Jesuit community, they know that is the number one, the highest honor that you can get in the Jesuit senior class. The Bishop Lynch Award winner gets to speak at graduation. I was there to watch Kevin. And what's really interesting, Babe, that when you and I are not here, Chris Ackles is here. He is, of course, the voice of Notre Dame football games. This, I think, is his third year in that role, and it's perfect for me because he's got to go to the Notre Dame games for about half the year. So that's why I haven't been able to be here. But Chris Ackles, also a Bishop Lynch Award winner. So when you think about it, to think that there's one student in each senior class that gets that award, and we have them here together half of the Friday nights during the football season, pretty remarkable.
Can I ask you something?
Yes, sir.
Is this intentional that you're making me feel like a loser? Because I did not get any awards in high school, okay?
Well, I will say this, Mr. Bambino, Babe Laughenberg. You got letters from Bobby Knight to come play basketball at Indiana. You got recruited by every, Dan Devine recruited you for Notre Dame, and you chose Bill Walsh at Stanford. So I think you got a few awards, my friend. But Kevin and Chris Ackles, Kevin Fitzsimmons, Chris Ackles, 2 Bishop Lynch Award winners, and that's pretty amazing. And Ursuline, by the way, Ursuline Academy, that's the all-girls Catholic school, the sister school for Jesuit, where my daughters graduated, who you know very well, Babe. Well, Kevin's mother, Pam Fitzsimmons, got the #1 award for the senior class, called the Seda Sapientiae Award, and she got that back in 1976. So
wow,
you got royalty from both Jesuit and Ursuline in the Fitzsimmons family. All right, let's real quick, Babe. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. Kevin?
Looking here at the offensive line, thanks, Tom. As you mentioned, 2 starting offensive linemen out for the Rangers. We'll look to see how Jackson Wagasback and Barnaby Cox filter in as backups tonight for the Rangers. As we move into the skill positions for the offense.
Well, we had a little bit of a technical difficulty there with Kevin. We'll see if we can get him back in a minute. I'll take it over, Babe. Babe, you know a couple of these guys. You saw Cade Kirby, and I know you're looking forward to seeing Shane Parker tonight.
Yeah, very impressed with Cade Kirby. Of course, I did the Highland Park. It's funny. If it has Highland in it, I'm doing the game.
You're doing the game.
I did Highland Park. I'm doing Lake Highlands. But he was outstanding in that game. Shane Parker was injured, so this is my first look at him in person. Of course, I watch you guys on the YouTube channel. But so excited to see Shane Parker running the ball tonight.
Yeah, and we saw Corson Lindley have some big flashes starting in that Highland Park game. He's becoming a bigger part of the offense. And last week, Caden Profit as well. And we'll also take a look at the Rangers' offensive backfield. Beck Berry, Ty DeBow, and Lucas Meyer. And Beck Berry, of course, you saw him in the Highland Park game. He really got comfortable rolling right. They seemed to like to roll him right, and he was able to pick out his receivers with a little bit of a moving pocket.
Yep, and looking forward to watching him again. And I must make mention as well, Tom, I know this is a Jesuit broadcast, but Christy Scales, our sideline reporter for the Dallas Cowboy Radio Network, she's a Lake Highlands high school grad. So she'll be watching.
Well, I hope that she's tell her I know I follow her on Twitter. She is Christy Sidelines, I think.
Yes.
And
On now.
And I think we've got you back, Kevin.
Okay, great. Good to be back. A little bit of a short in the microphone, but we'll go with there at the Rangers defensive front. We got senior captain Tanner Krug, number 3, honored tonight. Parker Sherman at nose guard and Cole Johnson at defensive end. Those guys have been menaces so far the last few weeks, Tom.
And Parker Sherman with a new profile picture, wearing the tuxedo tonight. How about those linebackers? We saw them there briefly. There is Parker again. Look at him there. He's looking good. And how about the look at the linebackers, Kevin?
Here's the linebacker core for the Rangers. Cole Wambacher, leader in tackles for the Rangers so far. We know what Gabriel James can do, an all-district linebacker as a junior last year. Joe Norman, last time I was here in Ranger Stadium, had a pick 6 early for the Rangers against Jesuit New Orleans. So all these guys can make plays on the defensive side of the ball as well.
Yeah, we call McGoldrick's name a lot, it seems like, every single game. So those 4 linebackers are very good. And now the defensive backfield, of course.
Rounding out the defensive back core, you got starting corners Andres Van and Jack Beret have both done a great job in coverage. You'll see Andres Van in some return game as well, especially on the punt returns. Ben Phillips and then Kay Weissmuller back as our safeties this evening.
Yeah, and if I may interject one thing here, they better play a little deeper. Lake Highlands, I've seen them a couple times. They've got some real speed on the outside, so
yeah, and
they'll run right by you.
And, Babe, tell us about, I know you've got the relationship with the Lake Highlands quarterback, Chuck Smith. You talked about that a minute ago. Your son, Joe Willie, who was a quarterback here at Jesuit, has mentored him, helped coach him, and I know you've been involved as well. But, I mean, tell us about some of the – I mean, obviously this kid's got a strong arm, but tell us what you see when you look at his game and evaluate it.
You know, he does. He's a competitor. He's all about football. I mean, he just loves it. And I think anymore, honestly, you have to. When I was in high school, you know, we kind of went to practice, and we didn't have an off-season program. You know what my off-season program was?
What was it?
Baseball.
Baseball.
I played baseball. And now, and the, you know, obviously the heat here in Texas, and you got to love it. And there's a lot of work involved, but he loves it. And it's interesting. He wears the number 4. And I said, is that for Brett Favre? And he says, yes, but he's got a whole family of Ole Miss people. And he wanted 8, but when he transferred into Lake Highlands, number 8 was already taken. So I said, I'm friends with Archie Manning. I'm going to text him and let him know that you actually wanted Archie's number and not Brett Favre.
I like it.
That's right. Chuck Smith, just to name statistics here on this side, as Babe mentioned, he's had a heck of a year already. He's 89 of 130. That's 68% of his passes completed. 1,539 yards, guys. 15 touchdowns and 1 interception. So that's twice as many yards as anybody else in district. Beck Berry, the second best quarterback statistically in the district. So we're going to see some offense here tonight, I think.
Yeah, and Kevin, why don't you give us a quick review of Lake Highlands' season so far? Let's take a quick look here at the Lake Highlands season so far, because they have been destroying some teams.
Lake Highlands the last couple of weeks in district 49-0 and 49-13 against their last 2 district opponents. One of those was J.J. Pierce, who the Rangers played last week and won in a close game against. So the Lake Highlands offense really taking care of opponents. They lost their first game of the season at Forney. Then they won in non-district contests against North Garland and Flower Mound. And then, as we mentioned, J.J. Pierce, and then last week again at MacArthur, 42-0. So not just the offensive side of the ball, but the defensive side of the ball too, Tom, looking strong. They have put up over 30 points in every game so far this season.
Yeah, and, you know, nobody's really, other than Forney, nobody's been able to play with them. So we're going to learn a lot tonight, Babe, about the improvement that we think we've seen the last few weeks from this Jesuit Ranger team, because they've got a very tough test, and this really is the class of the district. I mean, everybody that follows high school football said Lake Highlands was going to be the team to beat if you wanted to win this district, and
they're right.
They're right. That's exactly right.
And we talk about Chuck Smith, the quarterback, and he really can spin it, and he does have some speed on the outside. But the running back, Franklin Evans, he's a junior. He's the second guy. He's already committed to SMU. He's a junior back. So
my alma mater.
They can, yeah, and look at my man behind us here. He's all.
Oh, yeah. Henry Genie
is all fired up.
He comes from a big Mustang family.
Yeah, I see that. But so they're going to, defensively, they're going to have their hands full. And it's one of those games I always like to talk about. And I felt this way about the Highland Park game. It's a game where you're going to have to manufacture points.
Yeah.
You got to either get a takeaway, take it in for a pick 6, block a punt, onside kick. Anything to kind of generate points other than just going toe-to-toe.
Well, we're looking forward to it. We're getting very close to kickoff. Let's take a final commercial timeout. And when we come back on Ranger Football Night here on the Ranger Sports Network and, of course, at Tradio, you'll have the national anthem, we'll have the pregame prayer, and we'll kick it off. We'll be back in a moment.
Oh, okay.
There's a goal! Goal! And the Rangers win the game!
Welcome back, Tom Walsh, Babe Laughenberg. Kevin Fitzsimmons. Kevin, let's talk about some of our sponsors here.
It's been a great pregame show. Want to give a quick shout out to Barrel and Bones Craft Bar and Smokehouse. Barrel and Bones is proud to support Jesuit Dallas in our community, support local, and catch every Jesuit game on the big screens at Barrel and Bones. Order online for delivery and use code Jesuit, Jesuit, for $5 off your order. As we get ready to go here, 30 seconds counting down on the pregame clock.
All right. One quick correction here. I think I said Franklin Evans was the SMU commit. He's a heck of a back, number 3. But the SMU commit is actually Christian Rhodes. They'll play both backs, but yeah, 4-star, I guess, as Chris Martinez told me. And anytime there's a numeral involved, you always go to your statistician.
Yeah,
so if he said 4-star, I believe him.
Well, Babe Laughenberg, Kevin Fitzsimmons, Chris Martinez, I just heard from a voice from our past, the great Brian Montgomery, of course, longtime sports information director here, now living in upstate New York, listening in tonight, said to tell you, Babe, and you, Kevin, and you, Chris, hello. And he said to say hello to Henry G.D. as well. So Brian Montgomery in upstate New York listening tonight. And I got to tell you, I'm saying this about Tradio. You know, last week when we left this broadcast, we had about 1,300 views of the Jesuit versus Pierce game. I thought that's pretty good. You know, 1,300 people watched a little bit of the game. When I checked it the other day, we were over 2,000 views. So that means we had over 700-800 people that took the time during the week and go back and watch this, which is really a cool feature to have these games on YouTube. So enjoyed and appreciate all that Tradio does. The captains come to the center of the field right now. And, Babe, this is a new look for Jesuit tonight. They unveiled the uniforms, and you immediately picked up. You said, hey, Tom, are those Under Armour? And that's exactly what they are. They look sharp, don't they?
They certainly do.
And these are the uniforms that are kind of a throwback, Kevin, to what Jesuit, you know, when your dad and I started doing these games in 1998 together on the radio, this is what Jesuit looked like.
That's right. We talked about it, Tom, before the game. These guys look just like the Jesuit Rangers of old. They've got kind of that pale gold helmet and the pants to match the big white numbers on the blue jerseys. Those look just like the Jesuit Ranger uniforms from when I was a kid growing up.
You know, and I'll be honest, I hate watching Oregon games because I never know. It takes me a while to figure, oh, that's Oregon. Because they change their uniforms
all the
every
time.
week. And I love the traditional. I remember Nick Saban said, you know, somebody asked him about uniforms or alternate uniforms. He said, we have 2 uniforms, home and away.
That's great. Well, look, you've always got some good. So did you get the, Kevin, who won the toss there? I was talking with Babe. Did you get that?
Not sure who won the toss, but it looks like Jesuit's going to receive here in the first quarter and we'll receive that first kick and be on offense to start the game.
All right, so Jesuit 17-14 victory last week. Again, it was a 36-yard field goal by Cooper Magoo that sealed the victory, a nice pressure kick, and it's always good, Babe, when you can have a kicker. You know, you can practice it, right? You can run them out there, kind of try to simulate game conditions, but with the game on the line, under 4 minutes to go in that one, you come in, it's a 36-yarder, should be makeable. He drilled it right between the uprights. It was perfect, but that's got to be a great confidence builder for a kid like Cooper Magoo, whose brother, Noah, was a great kicker here at Jesuit as well. You'll remember him from last year when he was doing the Jesuit kicking against Highland Park when you did that game with me.
Well, and those kickers, to your point, you can't simulate that pressure until you get out there. Now, coaches will try all sorts of things. You know, they'll yell, they'll have the team scream, yell at the kicker while he's in practice. I mean, while he's doing it, they'll throw things at him, trying to distract him, trying to give you the feel of the game. But until you get out there and the pressure really is on,
yeah, right, exactly.
You never know how they're going to react either. And I was watching that, and he drilled that kick.
You think that
that was not a paint scraper?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna pause for just a moment. We're gonna have our pregame prayer, and then we'll have the national anthem, and then we'll kick this one off. So stand by.
Bless all our players tonight. Keep them safe from injury, grant them strength, courage, and respect for one another. May their efforts on this field bring glory to you, the giver of all good gifts. We ask your blessing upon our coaches, our officials, and all those who made this game possible, and upon our families and fans who support these young men with such generosity and spirit. And on this senior night, we especially thank you for our senior athletes, for their leadership, dedication, and the example they have set. Continue to guide them as they finish their studies and take their next steps beyond Jesuit. We ask all of this through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
And now, remain standing and please remove your hats to honor America with the playing of our national anthem, performed by the Jesuit Ursuline Ranger Band.
All right, the national anthem. We're ready to get this one going here on senior night. Jesuit comes in 2-0 in district play. Lake Highlands also comes in 2-0 in district play. And the winner tonight will separate themselves just a little bit from the rest of the pack. But this would be a statement tonight if the Jesuit Rangers could win. It's, you know, I always talk about October, Kevin, Babe. It's my favorite month of the year. You've got the baseball playoffs. You've got high school football, college football, pro football, and the swing of things. But the best part about living in North Texas is it starts to get cool. Right now it's 81 degrees, but it's going to get into the 70s during this game. This morning when I went out walking around 6:30 in the morning, it was 66 degrees. A little bit of wind, 4 miles out of the east. Guess the gusts could get up as much as 9 miles per hour. The humidity is 50%. And I think it's a perfect night for football.
And you were walking this morning at 6:30?
Yes, sir.
That's so fun. I was walking at 6:30.
You were?
Yeah, but I walked from my bed to the men's room in my house, and then I went back to bed until about 8:30.
Well,
does that count as exercise?
So tell us, it does count. It does count. So, so tell us, Babe. I mean, tell us real quick before we get going. Tell us about the Cowboys. You're gonna. What time are you leaving tomorrow to head up to Carolina?
Let's see. Our charter leaves at 1:30, and yeah. Hey, if you watched the game last night, I know there was so much sports going on. You know,
yes.
You couldn't keep track of it all, but I did watch Giants and Eagles, and the Giants just destroyed them.
Yeah.
So the notion that any NFL team, I mean, any given Sunday thing, any NFL team is some prohibitive favorite. It doesn't happen anymore.
Well, what's crazy is that this Cam Scatteraboo, I mean,
I love him.
I love this kid. I was so wishing the Cowboys were going to draft him and I was feeling that way during the draft. But he seems
I had talked to some people before the draft, and I said, I don't care who you draft, but I want you to come out of it with Cam Scatteraboo by the end of it.
We're ready to go. It's going to be a short kick. It's returnable. Taking it at the 14-yard line to the 20. Good hold of the 30. Has the blockers out in front, out near the 39-yard line. A good return to about the 30. Let's see where they mark him down, and the Rangers will be in business as the tackle was made by number 5. Excuse me. Well, I'll get that.
That's all right. I'm going to ask you both though. Would you rather be the team playing defense first or getting the ball first?
Well, I think here when you're playing against Lake Highlands, you really want to get something going, and you know, because they're so explosive offensively. I think you want to see if you can establish something.
Yeah, I've always wanted the ball first.
Yeah, me as well. So 1st and 10. There's the snap, a little bit of a high snap, handoff. Parker tries a stiff arm, trying to get around the corner, but he is going to be taken down for very little gain. Jeremiah Jones will make the tackle.
Heck of a job by Jones there to just track Parker down there. I mean, they're in like hand-to-hand combat the whole time. He's trying to give him the Derrick Henry stiff arm.
Yeah.
But he was having none of it. They must have gone 10 yards downfield, hand in hand.
Yeah, that was.
Finally got him to the ground.
You can see that defensive front is going to be in trouble tonight. Set trouble tonight. So the Rangers' offensive line, missing 2 starters, is going to have to step up and give some room for Shane Parker. Back to pass, Barry. He'll scramble. He's got some running room. 40, 45, and taken down about the 46-yard line. But a nice scramble there as Jeremiah Jones makes his second straight tackle, Kevin. But it's good to see Beck Berry with the scramble.
Had his eyes downfield early, Tom. Picked the ball up right away. A good run. It's 3rd and short now for the Rangers.
And they go tempo. No one does it better, in my opinion, in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex than these guys. They get set quick. 3rd down, 4. Play action. Berry is going to be tipped, and it's almost... Oh, it seemed like it hung up in the air, Babe, forever. That was a dangerous, as he was looking for Kirby, but now it's 4th and 4. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jesuit do a little quick kick here, but they'll probably line up and see if they can't keep Lake Highlands from putting someone back to receive this kick.
And let me just say, as a quarterback, that ball gets tipped in the air, and that one went up really high in the air. You just hold your breath, saying,
"Oh my gosh!
Please hit the ground! Please hit the ground!"
It seemed like it seemed like it was up forever. 4th down, 4. Now he's going to step back. I think we're going to see that quick kick. There it is. High snap! Not able to bring it in. He has to just jump on it. So a mistake early for the Jesuit Rangers as Samuel was quickly there. Berry couldn't. It was a high snap. He couldn't bring it in. And he was just didn't want to take a chance, guys, and jumped on it. 4th down, and it's going to be Lake Highlands with a great opportunistic play there to begin. They'll start out the Jesuit 30.
The quick kick burns you that time a little bit, Tom. High snap, as you mentioned. Beck Berry does the right thing, which is just fall on the football. Can't let the Lake Highlands team scoop it up, but now it's a short field for the Wildcats.
Ball came back just a little high and a little hot, and that's a bad combination.
Yeah, it's a bad combination indeed. 1st and 10. We'll get our first look at Chuck Smith. Good play by the Jesuit defense. They swarm. Andres Vaughn was the first to make contact.
Van did a great job that time, Tom, to break through. His big number 17 for Lake Highlands, Conrad Ince, out there on the block. He held him steady, breaks here you see it here on your screen, breaks right off of that block and makes a tackle for no gain. Great play that time by Van.
2nd down 10. My goodness, look how tall Christian Rhodes is. The 6'2", almost looks like Eric Dickerson back there, back on the Pony Express days. There's the snap. Handoff, Rhodes, right side, has a huge hole. Quickly closes, but he was able to get back to the Jesuit 24-yard line, bringing up 3rd down, 4 before Wambacher brought him down. So what do you think here, Babe Laughenberg? You know this Chuck Smith. You think he goes up top, or do you go to Rhodes again on 3rd and 4?
Honestly, that's the beauty of the offense and the weapons he has. He's got a big back in Rhodes. You can hand it off there. Even if he gets you 2 or 3 yards, now you put yourself in a 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and you can go for it from there.
Wasn't Dickerson about 6'3"?
He was about 6'3", was.
Yeah.
And ran upright, too.
Ran kind of like, there's a snap. Smith back to pass. Here comes the Jesuit rush. Ball is delivered on the money, breaks a tackle inside the 10, still on his feet. And it's going to be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Norman finally brought him down, but not before he broke some tackles. And it's 1st and goal, Kevin, and that's not what the Rangers defense was looking to have happen on 3rd and 4. A lot of missed tackles.
No, it was a great scheme that time by Lake Highlands, Tom. They bring the running back out. He runs a little wheel route at the left side, and then the crossing route, number 6 that time for Lake Highlands, was wide open. Oler Osorolor was open for the 1st down, and now it's 1st and goal.
1st and goal from the left hash. 2 backs in the backfield with Smith. There's the snap. Quickly into the flat. Got caught. Did he get in? There's no signal. Yes, touchdown. Touchdown is the call. So Lake Highlands gets the bad snap, the high snap that could not be controlled by Berry. They get it at the Ranger 30-yard line, Babe, and a very quick drive for this dynamic offense from Lake Highlands.
Yeah, the last thing Jesuit wanted to see was a 3-and-out, effectively a turnover, even though it doesn't go down as a turnover because it's on downs. But then Lake Highlands just comes down. They convert. The 3rd and 4 conversion for Lake Highlands was big there.
Here's the extra point. It's up, and it is good, and we are now 7-0. Lake Highlands takes the lead. So Jesuit, they've been here before. They were down 14-0 to Highland Park, which was probably the other top team that's been on the schedule this year. Well, they played 3 good teams with New Orleans Jesuit. Of course, Kevin, we saw them. They looked up, and you called the Hebron game, I believe it was, with Chris Ackles. So they had 3 very tough non-district games. But Lake Highlands Jesuit was down 21-7, 14-0. Came back to 28-14 with the ball at the 41-yard line of Lake Highlands. and was not able to get that 4th and 1, and then Lake Highlands piled on a couple of late touchdowns, so it looked like a lot worse than it was, 42-14. And we've got our scoring sponsor, Mr. Kevin Fitzsimmons.
Scoring summary provided by Vanguard Auto Group. This scoring summary is proud to stand behind Jesuit Athletics with GMC Kia Ford dealerships in the DFW Metroplex and surrounding areas. We're here to be your hometown dealer. Visit VanguardAutoGroup.com and schedule your test drive today. Go Rangers. That scoring drive, 4 plays, 30 yards. As Babe mentioned, didn't have far to go after the turnover, the more or less a turnover by the Rangers on 4th down. It took 1 minute and 56 seconds, and it's Conrad Ince, 7 from Chuck Smith on the touchdown reception.
So 7-0, Lake Highlands up early. This kick will be returnable again. Kirby's going to take it at the 10-yard line. A couple of blue jerseys out in front. He gets through one round of defenders, but is tripped up at about the 27-yard line. We'll see where they mark him down as McRoy made the tackle. So, Babe, back when you were slinging the ball around in Southern California, did you get behind very much earlier, or were you guys pretty tough your senior year?
In high school?
Yes, sir.
We were pretty good. You know who we were?
Who was that?
With all apologies to the University of Texas, we were like ranked number 1 in the city and all the CIF, which is the equivalent of the UIL. And then we weren't ranked number 1 about 2 weeks into it.
So yeah, you.
But no, it was the beauty. Honestly, I grew up in Los Angeles. We played games at night, and you always had nice weather.
Oh yeah.
You know, we didn't have wind. It was typically going to be about 70, 75 degrees. Never had to play in the heat like these guys do.
Well, Jesuit back on offense. 1st and 10, little penalty there. So the Rangers get good field position up to the 38-yard line, 10 yards after the Cade Kirby returned. And Beck Berry setting the play, still 10 seconds on the play clock. 2 receivers right. Play action, looks over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Joseph Koenigs, who's become a much bigger part of the offense. Coverage on the play was Lloyd Wyatt, but it goes incomplete.
Looking for kind of that post from the right side, and Koenig was getting tugged on a little bit as he was going. Honestly, not saying it should have been thrown, but I was looking for a flag. Could have been thrown.
Could have been called for sure, and I'm sure that Brandon Hickman and that offensive staff would have liked to have it. Now look at this. We got a little trips right, 3 receivers, almost in a diamond. If you would have 4, you'd have the diamond for sure. Almost 3/4 of a diamond. 1 receiver, Kirby to the left. Handoff. Right side. Meyer breaking tackles. Good hard run by Meyer up to the 43-yard line. And Kevin, he's starting to become quite the threat as Nicholson made the tackle.
It was a great run that time by Lucas Meyer. Just like you, Tom, I think everybody got drawn to that trips right, that bunch formation way outside on the right side of the field. Meyer had a little bit of an open hole there for the runs. Good call that time, I think, by Coach Radigan and Coach Livingston.
So that is 3rd down and about 5.5. Let's call it a long 5 or a short 6 at the 43-yard line.
Call it a long 5. I like
a long 5. All right, I like that better too. 3rd and 5. Barry will have.
Come on, wait a minute. You're an attorney, Tom. You're supposed to manipulate these things.
Ball is thrown a little bit high, incomplete. So Barry tries to go again over the middle to Corson Lindley. Lane is on the coverage, and now an interesting decision. You're down 7-0. I think you got a punt here, guys.
Yep. And this time they're not going to do the old quick kick type of thing with the quarterback. They're throwing the punting team out. Coach Hickman said, yeah, I saw enough of the other one.
Cooper Magoo, the 5'9", 155-pound senior who went to Lake Highlands Junior High before he came over here to Jesuit, so probably knows a lot of these young men.
How about that?
How about that indeed? So 1 man back, standing at about his own 20-yard line, and there's a timeout called by Brandon Hickman. He didn't like something that he saw.
Looked like the play clock was winding down that time, Tom, and the snap wasn't going to get off. Rather than take the penalty, coach calls a timeout, and the Rangers call their first of the half.
All right, so you mentioned Lake Highlands there again. And Christy Scales, as I mentioned, our sideline reporter for Dallas Cowboys Radio Network, does such a great job.
She does an amazing job.
She was a point guard for the Lady Cats. She wanted me to point out.
Nice.
She was a point guard for the Lady Cats.
Guard.
Class of 83, and I think that's a typo because I know it was more like 2003. It's got to be, the fingers don't always hit the correct
I got to tell you, you know I listen to you every week, babe. You and Brad Sham, you're both probably the most legendary duo in the NFL. You've been together so long. You guys have such great chemistry. But Christy, very much a part of y'all's broadcast team, and she's got the scoop on injuries faster than anybody else.
The best.
You got to get it. You've got to be listening to Christy Scales, because if you want to know if a player coming back, she'll have it quick. So 4th down and 5. Bad snap. Magoo's got to pick it up and see if he can get rid of it. He drops it. And it has been disaster on 4th down for Jesuit tonight. Absolute disaster. So the ball will be picked up by Lake Highlands at the 11-yard line. That snap, I mean, Magoo, that was kind of rolled back there, guys, and that was going to be a tough one. He gave it his best effort, but that was tough. Now, remember, the starting center is out from injuries. We've got 2 on the offensive line, and so you may have a little bit of inexperience there. And but God goodness, they started the first drive at the Ranger 30, Kevin, and they'll start this one at the Ranger 11.
And Babe mentioned you thought they were going to bring the punt team on because it was going to be a sure thing, and not that time.
Well, I mentioned Jesuit. It's a game where you need to manufacture points, and unfortunately they're manufacturing them for Lake Highlands right now.
That's right.
And Chuck Smith here, you know, you can see him. He's kind of licking his chops right here. A little pop play to the right side. Jesuit does a good job springing it out, and that was looked like Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame hurdling the would-be tackler. Joe Norman finally brings him down, but did you see that? Wow, that was impressive.
Jeremiah Love does wear number 5, does he not?
I think he wears number 4. Yes, but you saw that hurdle there, Babe. I mean, someone came in low and
that was
so
impressive.
athletic. Yeah, very impressive. But he picked up 5. It'll be 2nd down 5. They can get a first down right inside the Jesuit 1, Babe. Take a look at this one right here on the replay.
Yeah, you know, and as a quarterback, Tom, you always like this because it pads your stats. It technically goes down as a forward pass. It's a pass. So there's your completion. You want to find an easier completion, will you?
Yeah, Chuck Smith into the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown. Good coverage back there, but the receiver just made the play, and it's 13-0 Lake Highlands. And Beret had good coverage, but the receiver, the ball couldn't have been placed more perfectly by Smith there, Babe. And my goodness, it's 14-0, so they've only had to go 41 yards on their 2 drives from the 30 and from the 11 at Jesuit. And this is not the way that the Rangers had kind of schemed this one up. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on the Rangers offense to try to get something going the next time they're out there. And it goes through the uprights again, 14-0. My goodness, but you can see the touch by Chuck Smith. Is he being recruited some places, Babe?
He has schools looking at him, and, you know, this is just his senior year is his first year really playing varsity football. And as you know, back in the day, they recruited you when you were a senior.
Right.
Now, 3rd graders are getting offers, so you're kind of late to the party. But I will guarantee you somebody's going to look at his tape and say, I think he can play for us.
Yeah, and do you have the measurables on him? Is he tall? Is he? I didn't see. Let's see if I can get him.
I think Chuck goes about 6 foot, 6'1".
6'1".
Of course, I remember I said to Parcells one time, I sent him somebody, and I said, hey, could you take a look at this kid? And he said, well, give me the height and weight, and be damn honest. Because everybody, know, if you're 6'2" and you're 220, you tell people I'm 6'3" and I'm 240.
Yeah, well, I played high school basketball, Babe. You and I are the same height. I'm 6'4". You're 6'4".
You were 6'7". Then,
I was
right?
6'5" in the program. I was 212, but I was 225 in the program, right? And then my dad used to want to say, can they say that it's all muscle? I said, no, Dad, they don't write that in the program.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, they don't write that.
Little bio on you.
There you go. So 6:49 to go. First quarter of playtime. Walsh, Kevin Fitzsimmons, Babe Laughenberg. It's 14-0 Lake Highlands. There's the kick. Deepest kick so far. Lindley will take it out to the 5, goes center of the field to the 10. He's got some speed to the 15, out beyond the 20 to about the 23-yard line, and that is where the Rangers will take over. And how about that scoring summary, Kevin, as Hollowell made that tackle for Lake Highlands on special teams?
Yeah, quick recap as we have a player down on the field. Just 2 plays, 47 seconds, 11 yards that time. It was Mason Spangler on the 6-yard pass from Smith, so we're, just 6 minutes or so into this game, and Chuck Smith already has 2 touchdowns in this game. That's Spangler's 2nd touchdown of the year for Lake Highlands.
And if you're just joining us, we had a snap that came out with a lot of, heat, if you will, a lot of velocity that Barry was not. It was a little bit high, and Barry was not able to corral it, and he went back and fell on it at the 30-yard line. He was trying to do a quick kick. I just wonder, Babe, if perhaps because that had so much velocity on it, perhaps the next one, which did not, right? It was
Right,
more
well-
rolled back there. I just wonder if perhaps that was kind of lurking in the mind of the snapper as like, hey, got to take a little bit off this. Maybe took a little bit too much off of
Yeah,
it.
you never know what gets into their heads, especially young men like this. And it was the same snapper
I think
because
but
it was a long snapper.
Yeah, long snap,
The first one was like that little short snap.
Right.
They were trying to make Lake Highlands feel like they were going to go for it, and
Well,
that one went high.
That's a tough job, right?
Oh.
The long snapper. I'll
Oh.
tell you what. There's no chance you would ever see me
Well-
long snapping because the first thing that's going to happen as soon as that ball leaves your hand is you're going to get drilled, right?
Remember when Dale Hellestray was the long snapper for
Yes.
the Cowboys for about 12 years? So we used to do a post-game show, TV, outside the locker room after every game. They were always winning in those days. And they got like $2,000 worth of stuff. Dinner, boots, all this. He said, when am I going to be on the post-game show? When am I? And I said, Dale, you know the way this works. Snap one over the punter's head at a crucial moment, and we'll have you on.
They will fake the reverse, going deep, has a man wide open, it's Parker, he's got it! To the 40, the 30, the 20, you're not going to catch Shane Parker in the open field, no flags, and the Rangers have struck back immediately, just what the doctor ordered, and it's 14-6. Wow, what a throw, what a great scheme there. You fake the handoff, fake the reverse, and Shane Parker was wide open going down the left sideline, and Barry put it on the money.
Exciting. Look, watch this replay here. You see, as Tom mentioned, we fake the handoff to Meyer, fake the reverse to Lindley. Nobody with Shane Parker up the left side of the field. It's a great throw by Beck Barry. Catches it, and there's 45 more yards to go. He outraces him, and here's the PAT now coming from Cooper Magoo.
And we talked about the pressure was going to be on the Jesuit offense, and that is blocked by Magoo. So the special teams have had their issues tonight. The Rangers not able to convert, and it's 14-6. 14-6. And Kevin, we do have the official stats from Chris Martinez. Not sure we need this one, but go ahead.
That's an easy one. One play, 77 yards. It took 20 seconds. Shane Parker's first touchdown catch of the year from Beck Barry. That scoring drive is brought to you by Vanguard Auto Group. Proud to stand behind Jesuit Athletics with GMC Kia Ford dealerships in the DFW Metroplex and surrounding areas. We're here to be your hometown dealer. Visit VanguardAutoGroup.com and schedule your test drive today. Go Rangers. Just want to give a quick shout out, Tom, to our first quarter sponsor, UT Southwestern Simmons Cancer Center. Start cancer care with the highest level of expertise, UT Southwest Simmons Cancer Center, with locations around Dallas and Fort Worth. Right here, right now, for you and your family against cancer. UT Southwest Simmons Cancer Center.
Well, thank you very much.
And go back to that last play, which
Yeah.
we got Shane Parker so wide open.
Yeah.
And Barry's back is turned with all the faking. His back
Right.
is turned to the defense. You turn around and you see the guy running, and I swear to you, you say, okay, I'm missing someone. I'm not seeing a safety. I do. I will guarantee you, he said, okay, no, there's got to be someone that I'm not seeing. And they do. Guys get obstructed. I always say easy to play quarterback from 200 feet in the air. We see everything. You're down there on the field. You got a guy in front of you. You got linemen. And I know he said, okay, who am I missing?
Right.
You know.
Well, and I think about it as Magoo will kick it off. I always think we'll get this after the return to the 10-yard line to the center of the field. Gets a block, still on his feet, and will get out beyond the 30-yard line, near the 35, up to about the 37. So a good return. But, babe, I think that when you're that wide open, how much harder is it to catch it like for Shane Parker when you're that wide open,
Oh,
right?
it's the same thing. How many times do you see the wide open guy drop it, and then you see the same guy draped all over him,
Right.
and he makes catch because you're forced to concentrate. And Shane Parker, I guarantee you, was the same way with that ball just being perfectly placed.
Perfectly
You're like,
placed. You can't
in
throw
your
it better.
mind, you say, oh, just don't drop it. Don't drop
Right.
it. As opposed to catch it. Figure out a way to catch it.
No easy task to put it on the money, too, babe, once you see him wide open. That was a great job by Beck Barry.
Yeah.
Handoff, Rhodes, 6'2", watch out, into the second level, and he's gone. So this has been a game of big plays, and it is 20-6. So after Jesuit's offense strikes quickly, Lake Highlands comes back and quickly strikes 63 yards by Rhodes, and it is 20-6. And so 6:11 to go here in the first quarter of play, and it's just like a ping pong table, but people score in one play. both these last two drives.
We're going to hurt our necks here pretty soon, looking back and forth, left and right down the field as these big plays go on, Tom, as we prepare for the PAT. Christian Rhodes that time, it's not like he was untouched through the line of scrimmage. I mean, he made it look easy as he broke a couple tackles.
And then I talked about him looking a little bit physically like Eric Dickerson, who was a 6'3", the star of the Pony Express, of course, with Craig James back in 1982-83. Well, you know, he looked like Eric Dickerson, and when he got to the second level, I mean, he was gone. Andrew Wilson did kick that one through, but there was a penalty, so they'll have to kick it again. And, Babe, I think we'll let you give us this scoring drive summary here. Chris Martinez having to work overtime and write out these Post-it notes for us every other play, it seems, as Wilson now will steady himself, steel himself for the kick. There's the snap, the hold. The kick is up, and it is good. And it's 21-6, so my goodness, the Rangers offense now has the pressure come to them. Again, and we've got our scoring summary from Vanguard Auto Group, brought to you by the great Babe Laughenberg.
This scoring summary is sponsored by Vanguard Auto Group. Vanguard Auto Group is proud to stand behind Jesuit athletics with GMC, Kia, and Ford dealerships in the DFW Metroplex and surrounding areas. We're here to be your hometown dealer. Visit VanguardAutoGroup.com and schedule your test drive today. And go Rangers.
All right.
Let's take a look at that last touchdown run here. And there was just, once he got through that initial line, you have three levels of defense, right? Your line, your linebackers, and your safeties. Once he got through the initial line, there was no one there, and you're just not going to catch him. Again, you mentioned it. He does have that upright running style like Eric Dickerson, and he is committed to SMU.
Yeah, so.
How about these drives, though, guys? These were all touchdown drives. 4 plays, 2 plays, 1 play, 1 play.
And one of those 1 plays was from Jesuit.
Wow.
But Lake Highlands answer. So if you're just joining us, it's 21-6 Lake Highlands, and we're not even halfway through the first quarter. Tom Walsh, Kevin Fitzsimmons, Babe Laughenberg, Chris Martinez, Henry Genie. There's the kick. You're listening at the Rangers Sports Network, also on Tradio. There's the return, and not to the 21-yard line, only to about the 16, Corson Lindley, as the tackle was made by McRoy. And so the Rangers have got a lot of real estate, Kevin, to make up here. It'll be 84 yards from Pater.
Yeah, Tom, let's see here now. We had the big play to Shane Parker.
Might take 2 plays instead of just 1 with 84.
Hope so.
So
this is crazy.
It's crazy. Let's see what the Rangers can dial up.
If you like offense, this is the place to be.
And you got single coverage out to the left to Cade Kirby, who has been the money receiver for Jesuit all year. Play action. Looking over the middle. Koenig doesn't bring it in. That ball was there, guys.
They've had that play twice now and just haven't connected.
It's that same post route.
Yep. Wyatt was on the coverage, and Koenig has been very sure-handed, and you kind of saw him tap his helmet. He'll be ready for the next one.
Yeah, that's one, honestly, the quarterback is saying, I got to give you a ball, and the receiver is saying, I got to catch it.
Yeah.
A little high, but Koenig obviously wanted to bring that one in.
And he's very sure-handed. So 2nd and 10. But the good news for the Jesuits is they are showing they can get that pattern. So we'll see what they do here. As they said, Meyer out in motion. Back to Shane Parker. He's going to throw it back. It's going to hit the ground, and it's going to be rolling around, and it looks like the white jerseys have it. If that was a throw backwards, Lake Highlands going to have it.
It was.
Let's see here as a referee's coming in, looking like he's saying incomplete, and that's what obviously Coach Hickman and this coaching staff are saying as well.
Yeah, it's going to all depend on whether the ball was being thrown backward, which it looked like it was.
So Shane Parker's throw did not get back to Beck Berry. The Rangers pulling out all the stops here tonight, and the Rangers dodged one there. That could have been disaster. Ooh. A 3rd turnover inside their 30-yard line, and that was ruled a forward pass by the officials, and the Rangers got lucky. It goes incomplete.
Inside your own 20.
I would say it's a good thing replay isn't in effect in high school.
Yeah, I thought that was a backwards pass.
It sure did look backward.
Okay, 3rd down 10 for the Jesuit Rangers. Berry will have Meyer next to him. 2 receivers left. Parker's in the slot. He just had that 77-yard touchdown grab a minute ago. Back to pass. He'll throw, and it's picked off. Dropped. He had it for a moment, and it was dropped. But, guys, now the Rangers have to punt, and that's been an adventure tonight. McRoy will do the kicking chores. McRoy almost had the pick, and the Rangers will have to punt.
That time it was number 94, guys, Jordan Condoba, big defensive end. There was only 3 down rushers for Lake Highlands, and he made his way all the way back to Beck Berry.
That was a shame there. It was a 3-man rush, and they didn't pick him up, and Berry took a big hit at the end of this thing.
He really did.
That was like a cannonball shot in your chest right there for him.
Timeout was called by Lake Highlands. Nice snap there. But it's if you're just joining us, let me recap where we were. Jesuit took over, went 3 and out. On a 4th down, looked like they were going to do the quick kick. And the snap was a little bit high. Berry couldn't bring it in and was not able to. He had to go back and cover it at the 30-yard line. Lake Highlands quickly scored in 4 plays. Then on their second possession, Jesuit had a bad snap on the punt. Lake Highlands took over at the 16-yard line, I believe it was, the 11-yard line, quickly scored. Jesuit got the ball back, and in one play went, was it 73 yards or 77 yards to Shane Parker. And then Christian Rhodes got the ball in 1 carry for, I think it was 63 yards to go the other way. So that's the scoring so far. We'll get our break next time we have a timeout. My apologies to our producer, but Jesuit needs to get a good snap here, and they've got to get down and make the play on special teams. Special teams has been tough tonight for the Rangers. They have not been able. They've also had an extra point blocked. So standing at his own 4-yard line, Magoo, good snap. The kick is away, and he got rough. There's a flag, so the Rangers should get this ball back. Lake Highlands was going for the block, and that's going to be a personal foul, and Jesuit will retain possession. So they'll get a break there, Kevin.
Boy, and really, a heck of a punt there, 42 yards with no return. But I think it's going to give the Jesuit Rangers a first down here, like you said.
Yeah, it is indeed, and just what the doctor ordered.
Magoo, tough kid. I mean, he walked right off the field. That was a big hit he took after kicking that ball a long way, and he looks to be doing just fine on the sidelines. Fortunate for the Rangers that time, and now they'll have better field position.
Yeah, they were back at their own 16. Remember when I said that I wasn't going to be a deep snapper?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be a punter either, or an offensive lineman, or a defensive lineman. I like being right up here, guys. So first down 10. And I go about 6'4", north of 260 these days, 270. We won't give the exact weight. There's the handoff, right side, Shane Parker. He is hit and driven. They are a hard-hitting team. They really swarm the ball. Good tackle there by, looks like it was Therio that made the play. And it's going to be a 2nd down and 9.
And, Tom, you know how earlier we were talking about you kind of, when you're in high school, you always upped your height and weight a little bit.
Yeah.
And at what age do you start lowering?
Yeah, I'm lowering right now.
I know. But what is it, 30?
About 30.
About 30,
about 30, yeah.
I'm 32. I'd say that's about right, guys. You start to do it just
30.
about now.
2nd down 9.
You reach the apex at about 18 of the lying, and then you start going.
Of the weight, that's right. 2nd down 9. You wish you could have that high school less weight. 2nd and 9. Back to pass, Berry. He'll fire it. Ball caught by Lindley. Good tackle. And it's going to be 3rd down at about 5. So about the 37-yard line. Lloyd Wyatt has been really active tonight. He almost had a pick and has been making a lot of tackles. Henry Gidi doing a great job tonight as my spotter. The Jesuit senior, or are we a junior this year? A Jesuit junior. I've known Henry most of his life. One of the fine young man from a fine family. And we're so glad to have him. He's going to be a sportscaster himself one day. 3rd down, we'll call it 5 at the 37-yard line. There's the snap. Berry. And the Rangers just not able to come up with the play when they need it. It was going to be a tough catch. McRoy was there on the coverage with Cade Kirby. And now the Rangers are going to have to punt again. That's a shame.
Chris Martinez told us before the game, Tom, as we see the replay here, Berry, this ball just goes in and out of the hands of Kirby. It was going to be tight coverage, close on whether or not he was going to even get to the 1st down marker. But the Rangers have been 38% on 3rd downs this year. That was something we knew was going to be crucial going into this game, as Babe said, continuing to manufacture points, have some of these longer drives, and we don't get it that time on 3rd down.
Yeah, Babe, you know that's 38% on 3rd down. You got to get that. There's a fake by Jesuit, and they will throw it. It's caught by Kirby! Still on his feet, gets a block. He's inside midfield to the 45-yard line before he's brought down by Barrett, and the Jesuit Rangers roll out the fake punt.
Remember when I talked at the top of the broadcast about how the Rangers are going to have to manufacture points? That's how you manufacture points, right?
And I got to tell you guys, that play, well, maybe we'll see it again, but that play looked like the up back who had the ball was about to get drilled, and he really made a nice pass.
No replay, it looks like, but we'll have to look at Chris Martinez maybe, but I believe that's defensive back number 16, Ben Phillips' first pass of the year, and it's a good one for a first down.
And the Rangers are manufacturing right there. Good job. Beck Berry, first design run of the night, and he'll get about 3 or 4 up to about the 41-yard line. And, you know, the thing about Beck Berry, he did have one scramble for a nice gain of about 7. That was the first designed call. Nicholson made that tackle.
You know, that's a play you put in during the week, and you work on it, and then you keep your fingers crossed when you call it, if you're Brandon Hickman as a head coach. But Ben Phillips has been dreaming about that. I guarantee you. The only thought in his mind last night when his head hit the pillow was, oh, God, I hope we call it. And then the second thought was, oh, boy, I hope I don't mess it up.
Well, he made a great play, and he was under some pressure. Back to pass. There's a screen pass to Meyer, and he is going to be taken down by Aiden Little, and he lost about 3.5 on the play, so now it's going to be 3rd down 11 at the 46-yard line. So after Jesuit called the fake punt on 4th and 5, they've lost about 1.5 yards, maybe 2, and it'll be 3rd down and long. Kelly Barton, one of our loyal listeners listening tonight, her son Jack Barton, of course, was a star here at Jesuit back in that 2019 season, and went up to play at Vanderbilt and had a great career up there as well. So her and her husband Michael Barton listen all the time, and we love having the Barton family. So 3rd down 11, back to pass. Under pressure, he's going to scramble. Gets a nice move by Berry, but he will be brought down at the 45-yard line at the line of scrimmage. And so many white jerseys, Holden Lane, Jeremiah Jones, both collapse on him. And now it's 4th and 10. Yeah, Babe, are you tempted on 4th and 10 from the opposition 45 to go for it?
Yeah, with the struggles on special teams, 4th and 10 is tough here.
It's a lot of yards.
It's a lot of yards. I mean, I know that Brandon Hickman was hoping to get 5, 6, 7, put it into a 4th and 3, 4th and 2 situation. 4th and 10 is tough, but you know, you're down 21-6. You know that Lake Highlands is not done scoring points, but you hate to give them the short field like they've done twice before, obviously, in the game.
Timeout's going to get called here by Jesuit with 1:33 to go.
They're going to think about it a little.
You want to take a timeout? We'll take a quick timeout. 21-6 is your score. We'll be back on the Ranger Sports Network and Tradio right after this.
Touchdown! Jesuit, what a catch! Score! He does it as a goal! And the Rangers win the game!
Where are you? Where are you in that? I'm at the box office right now.
Welcome back, Tom Walsh, Babe Laughenberg. That's right, Dallas Cowboy Radio Network, legendary sports figure here in the Metroplex, Babe Laughenberg, and legendary Jesuit figure, Kevin Fitzsimmons. 4th down 10. Jesuit looks like they're going to go for it here. Yep. Lindley, wide right. Koenigston's in the slot to the right. Parker and Kirby, a lot of firepower over to the left side as well. Myers in the backfield.
They're going to find Koenig over the middle. What do you say, Tom?
There's the snap. Berry, back to pass. Good protection. Lets it go, and it's caught. 1st down. What a throw by Berry, and it's Koenigs. Over the middle, Babe Laughenberg dials it up from up here in the booth. And the tackle was made by Obudun, but what a throw on under pressure. Good job by that offensive line.
I should tell you guys this. I know we're all hooked up with our headset here, but Coach Hickman also has me on his headset there. What a nice throw here. Good pass protection. That was the important thing. And just layers the ball in over the linebackers before the safety. Nice throw.
And Parker to the right side. He'll get something going. He's probably the most dynamic offensive threat. He's a threat to take it to the house every time. Therio made the tackle, but the Rangers will get the 1st down. They just looked at it, and they said it's a 1st down. The Rangers will go tempo. Meyer to the right. Parker to the left. Handoff, Parker again. This time he runs into a Lake Highlands brick wall. No gain at about the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd down 10, and they should be able to get one more play off, about 2-second difference, as Ariz made the tackle.
We've seen this all season. Jesuit likes to go tempo after a big play, Tom and Babe, to try and catch the defense off guard. It hasn't worked yet so far against Lake Highlands. Let's see what the Ranger offensive staff dials up here on second down as we tick down towards the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, they'll have 2 seconds to get this play off before the game clock expires. 14th play of the drive.
Wow.
2nd and 10. This is a drive that had a roughing the punter that gave Jesuit new life, a fake punt which gave Jesuit new life, and they picked up the 4th and 10, which, may I say it again, gave Jesuit new life. So, Kevin, the Rangers now have used their second timeout, though, here in the first quarter. I think Brandon Hickman recognizing this is a critical part of this game. You're down 21-6. You know that Lake Highlands has got one of the most dynamic offenses in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. He wants 6 on this drive.
He does. I mean, and the Rangers, you're talking about it, Tom. We're getting close to Halloween. We're playing the Wildcats, but it's been 1 life, 2 life, 3 lives, approaching 9 lives here on this drive. Let's see if they can punch it in here. Unfortunately for the Rangers, forced to call a timeout as the play clock and the game clock not quite synced up. So 2.9 seconds left now as the Rangers will call this last play of the first quarter.
And DeBow comes in for Jesuit in the backfield, and he's dynamic as well. Ty DeBow, 5'9", 190-pound junior. What a throw by Beck Berry on 4th and 10, and great timing by Konings to come up and bring that one down. 2nd and 10, back to pass, looking end zone, right side, looking for Kirby, and there's the flag. It's going to give the Jesuit Rangers 1st and goal. The defensive back was beat by Kirby. He had no choice, and Bilty was on the coverage. We'll see if the Rangers will get that ball, though. 1st and goal. He was looking for Kirby, and that, of course, is the big-time receiver. And, Babe, we saw that. They love doing that against Lake Highlands. How many times did we see that?
Highland Park.
The Highland Park,
Yeah.
excuse me. How many times did we see that game, right?
Well, and Kirby has been lined up on the left side all game long. That was the first time he went over to the right side, and my little brain was saying, okay, they got something cooked up here. They clearly wanted that matchup on the right side. Kirby won on the route, but obviously the pass interference.
Did they teach you to throw it like that, Babe? I mean, it felt like Barry just threw it a little shy of Kirby. He had to come back through the defensive back to get that ball. Maybe got us a little help on the interference.
You think of 2 and 2. 2 yards inside the sideline, 2 yards from the back of the end zone. And put it to that 2 and 2 spot, let him go find it. A little underthrown.
Fortunate
but
that time for Barry.
How many times do you see, all levels, if you underthrow that deep ball, as that receiver works back to it, the DB inevitably runs into him, and the flag comes out.
Yeah.
I kind of feel sorry for the DBs. I really do.
Toughest job on the football field, I think.
It's like, wait a minute, the guy ran through me. The receiver came through me, but that's the way it is.
Babe, I'm going to ask you a question. You're one of my closest friends in the world. I've never asked you this question. I'm going to ask you right here on YouTube, on Ranger Sports Network and Tradio. What's the farthest you've ever thrown the ball?
I mean, I never really marked it up, but 70 yards.
70 yards.
And I laugh when people say, oh, this guy can throw it 100 yards, whoever this guy is.
Right.
I've seen this guy throw 90. You've seen him throw 90? Well, I haven't seen it, but my buddy's sister's cousin said he can throw 90.
1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Jesuit, after the pass interference, hands the ball off. Good hard run, but just not much running room right between the tackles. Meyer, it'll be 2nd down goal. Tackle was made by Theriot.
I'll give you a good example. Kansas City did they play the Sunday night game?
Yes, yes.
So I'm watching that game. Patrick Mahomes, who has a strong arm as anybody, the last play of the game, he's trying to get it as far as he can down the field, and he threw it 67 yards. And, I mean, he took a running start like he was throwing a javelin.
And he's got one of the
he's got a great arm.
He's considered one of the stronger arms in the league.
And now I think he could throw it a little farther than it, but he tried to get everything he could on that ball to get it down to near the end zone.
I feel compelled to say that I threw it 45 yards once.
Did you really?
Yeah, that's about as far as I could ever throw it. Yeah, 2nd down goal. Meyer goes in motion. DeBow's in the backfield. Play action. Over the top. Looking for Meyer. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and goal. Jesuit wants 6. Brandon Hickman wants the flag. He's not going to get it. Holden Lane is on the coverage. But Brandon Hickman was looking for the flag there. He came out.
Saying Holden was holding?
Holden was holding is what he thought, but the officials thought Holden just did a nice job on defense. Let's take a look at it here.
Yeah,
we had it there for a minute.
You could see his body get spun around here at the end here.
Yep. I didn't really see
that's
much
too bad because it was drawn up nicely. They
shoulder pad.
3rd down goal. Big play for Jesuit. DeBow stays in the backfield. Let's watch Cade Kirby wide to the right side. Only 6 seconds on the play clock. 2 wide receivers left. Looking, thrown, it is incomplete. Flag comes down. 2 flags come down late. Theriot is there again. I'm not sure if one of them is going to be holding. I think one's going to be a defensive penalty. Let's see what the first one is. It could be offsetting, but if they're both on the defense, that would be huge for Jesuit. Where that first one was thrown by the umpire, I thought perhaps offensive holding. You often see that call. But the second one came in the end zone, Babe.
Definitely 2 separate infractions, and the officials are out there huddling now, trying to tell the referee, or white hat, exactly what happened. So we'll see here.
Hands to the face, 94, defense, half a distance.
And we talked about the Rangers having 9 lives on this drive. You said that, Kevin. You said 3rd, 4th. This is the 5th 9 live. This drive stays alive.
So they call hands to the face on Lake Highlands. And, yeah, when that umpire throws it, it's going to be one of 2 things. It's either going to be a hold on the offense or just what was called hands to the face on defense.
So first down now for the Rangers, too, which makes it nice as you're inside the 5-yard line.
Yep. You're 2 yards out. Do you just bang this thing as hard as you can from 2 yards? You got 4 plays. Or do you roll Barry? There's the snap. Handoff. Meyer trying to get around the corner. He dives for the end zone. Did he get there? He is down short of the goal line. He made a great effort to about the 1-foot line, but it's only going to be 2nd and goal. He gave it everything he had.
The line judge there on the right side. Here comes the replay. He put his hand up immediately saying he didn't get there. Meyer does a great job, gets around the edge rusher. He's going to try his best. It's a good tackle. Boy, right at the end, they're looking for a knee down. I don't know about that one, babe. I thought he was in.
Ball might have got there before the knee went down.
I thought so as well. Lloyd Wyatt saved the touchdown for Lake Highlands. 2nd and goal. From the right hash, Barry. He'll keep it. He dives. He's in! Touchdown! Jesuit has answered a drive that had a fake punt. A roughing the punter. A pass interference in the end zone. And a hands to the face on 3rd and goal. The Rangers make the Wildcats pay for that, and they make it 21-13. Now, are the Rangers going to go for 2
it's
here?
Actually 21-12.
21-12. Looks like they're
2.
going for 2 to make it 21-14. DeBow will stay in the backfield.
Joined us. They had their extra point blocked on their first touchdown.
2 receivers right. Barry rolling right. Trying to throw it back the other way. Has a man open. He brought it in. What a throw! It's good! And the Rangers make it 21-14. Barry rolled right and threw all the way back left. Found Caden Profit. And it's 21-14.
We got a ball game, gentlemen. Does a nice job of just lofting it up, letting his receiver, and a great job by the receiver, too, getting the feet down. You would have liked that ball just thrown a little bit farther left, not so much down the field, but great job by the receiver tapping those toes and getting them in.
Great design that time. We talked, Tom, about how we like to have Beck Barry roll out to the right. He rolls out to the right and throws back to his left that time for the 2-point conversion. Chris Martinez quick on the stats for us here. Look at this, guys. 16 plays, 83 yards. It takes 7 minutes, 54 seconds, which I think all of the first 4 scores were within the first 6 minutes of the game. So that one takes 7 minutes, 54 seconds. Cap it off with a Beckberry 1-yard run. It's his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year. That scoring summary is brought to you by Vanguard Auto Group with GMC, Kia, and Ford dealerships in DFW Metroplex and surrounding areas. We're here to be your hometown dealer. Visit VanguardAutoGroup.com and schedule your test drive today. Go Rangers, and now the Rangers just within 1 score, Tom.
Yeah, and I'm very impressed. These Rangers had everything you could possibly think of go wrong, and they have continued to battle to draw within 21-14. Little onside kick, high snap. High kick there off the ground. I said high snap, I meant a high kick. And a nice job bringing the ball in. Did not get the kick that they wanted with the ball. Brody Hollowell, the linebacker, brought it in. So you're setting Chuck Smith up for good field position, Bay, but I think Brandon Hickman recognizes that this is going to be a shootout, and he's trying to manufacture those turnovers the way you were talking about, right?
Manufacture points. How about that drive, too? So the first touchdown by Lake Highlands, came on 4 plays. Their second touchdown came on 2. Jesuit answered with a 1-play drive. Lake Highlands came back with a 1-play drive. And then Jesuit goes 16 plays on the last one.
Chuck Smith has his worst field position at his own 48-yard line.
After an onside kick.
There's a snap, back to pass, fires it left side. Diving effort, incomplete. It was a good throw. The receiver had a shot at it. Mac Murphy was on coverage. He made a last-minute dive at it, and the ball was there, but it was a difficult catch, but it goes incomplete.
And Chris Martinez tells us that is Chuck Smith's first incompletion of the night. Good throw that time. It was a close one.
Yeah, they had a shot.
Well, I tell you what, he kind of threw it off his back foot and just laid it out there perfectly. You talked about it. This young man, who Babe Laughenberg knows well, and is excellent. So he'll have 2 wide receivers left, 2 right. They have a slot. Now one man goes in motion. That's Willis, and they'll swing it out to Christian Rhodes. Has some blockers out in front, and down he goes, sideline he goes. He's a second big play with Christian Rhodes, and he gets into the second level with nobody outside. You're not going to catch him. And my goodness, it's 27-14, and Lake Highlands that time had to use 2 plays.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Seeing improvement.
Wow. So that was just a simple little, Babe, what did you see
Great
there?
pass.
What did you see? Just see good scheme over there? They had it all blocked up?
Yeah, I just got to the edge, and boy, the speed too. If you're not used to that kind of speed, they cut out your angles pretty quickly. You think you've got the right angle, the proper angle to cut him off, and all of a sudden he's by you.
We talked about Harlan Buechler for Jesuit being a sprinter. I'd like to see some of Rhodes' highlights. I'm sure he's doing well in UIL track.
Well, let's take another look at this one here. So really just a really simple play. A little swing out here with a couple of guys in front for the screen.
Yeah, Willis came in motion there, Babe.
And he
didn't even have there. He finally puts the block on, and that's what springs him, right there. So Willis, number 10, came in motion. Trey Willis. He kind of patiently waited for the block, and then Christian Rhodes is not going to be caught when he gets out there.
Again, you're not used to that speed. You think, okay, I've got the good angle on him, and then all of a sudden, I don't have the angle on him.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, as an SMU alum, I'm excited that Christian Rhodes is coming to SMU.
So this whole thing is win-win for you, huh, Tom?
That's right. Want to thank real quick, guys, our second quarter sponsor, our title sponsor, Veritex Bank, proud to serve as the official bank of the Jesuit Dallas Rangers. We share a strong commitment to serving the community and making a difference in the lives of others. Learn how our shared values make Veritex Bank and Jesuit a winning team at www.veritexbank.com, member FDIC. Babe, you want to give us a scoring drive that time?
Yeah,
scoring summary?
2 plays and 52 yards. Took 17 seconds, so it doesn't take long here. Time of possession, Lake Highlands. Okay, anybody that knows me, I hope Brad Sham is listening.
I hope Brad's listening.
Time of possession is my least favorite stat. I hate it because I don't care how long you have it. What do you do when you have the ball? So Lake Highlands has had it for 3 minutes. Jesuit has had it for 11, and Lake Highlands has a 14-point lead.
Lindley will be able to return this kick. He'll come right up the center of the field, a couple blocks in front of him. Nice job by the special teams from Lake Highlands, though. They quickly are on Lindley, and he is down at about the 22-yard line.
Before the game, I told you guys I was talking to Chuck Smith, the quarterback who I know, and I said, now, Chuck, this scoreboard only has 2 digits. Do we need to get an engineer to install a third one? I thought I was kidding.
Yeah, they're on pace right now.
I thought I was kidding, but
yeah,
maybe it's going to have to be like the old-time baseball park where somebody puts up that digit in front of the...
right now, Jesuit's on pace for about 56. Well, I remember we saw, Kevin, we saw one playoff game between Longview and Jesuit. It was like 74-52, and then Jesuit, of course, came back in 2019 and beat them in that thriller in the second round when Longview was the defending state champion and number 2 in the state, that 2019 team. There's that little bubble screen to Kirby, and he is going to be taken down immediately upon the catch. He'll get about 2 yards up to the 25-yard line. That's a play that Jesuit really likes to run to Kirby. They kind of curl him back, but Theriot was there.
When he's slow getting up, Kirby is.
Yeah, last week he went down a couple of times late, and we were worried about his leg, but it was just a cramp. I called his dad that night, who I went to college with, my fraternity brother, and he said, it was hot. He was cramping up a little bit, so they said he would be good to go. And he, of course, has already made some big plays tonight for Jesuit. 2nd down 8. 3 wide receivers right. Barry rolls right, then cuts it back, gets a block, cuts it back to the center of the field, but they are so good on defense inside. He'll get about 1 to about the 26-yard line, and that's where he'll go down. That's going to bring up 3rd down and long for Jesuit.
And I cannot remember a time when Jesuit has had a 3rd and 1 or a 3rd and 2 in this game. They've been 3rd and long on virtually everything.
Well, Lake Highlands has done a great job all night, babe, of setting the edge. No room that time for Beck Berry to get outside of the pocket on that design run. Tries to cut it back a couple of times, but that's exactly what you're supposed to do for these big defensive ends is keep him in there.
And that's a good point, Kevin. I really thought he had the edge for a moment, but it quickly was taken away. So 3rd down and about 7. There's a snap to Berry. He's looking over the middle, nowhere to go. He's going to roll right now. He's going to fire it out of bounds, and Jesuit's going to have to punt. Back to Lake Highlands. They go 3 and out again. This defense for Lake Highlands, Kevin, you talked about it before the game started, but I mean, so far this year they have not given up many points, have they?
13 points and 0 points in their 2 district matchups, and I think we're seeing that once they got to 49, maybe they slowed it down a little bit on the offensive side of things when they were beating some people pretty good, because I think they certainly probably could have put up a few more than 49 against some of those teams. But you're right, Tom. We've talked about this offensive team for Lake Highlands, but their defense has been stout, and they run hard for tackles against the Rangers so far tonight.
Yeah, they really bring it. Magoo gets the kick away. Another good kick. It's returnable at the 40-yard line. He called fair catch, and that will be a 33-yard kick, no return. That's going to be the worst starting field position for Lake Highlands. It was their own 48-yard line after the onside kick failed from Jesuit. This time after the punt, it's at the 41-yard line. If you're just joining us, I'm Tom Walsh with Chris Martinez, our 28th year together up here in the broadcast booth. And for my 2nd year in the broadcast booth, the great Babe Laughenberg. And, of course, my 1st year with my great friend who I have known his whole life, Kevin Fitzsimmons, from the Jesuit class of 2011?
11, that's right.
2011. Our lead broadcaster, along with Chris Ackles. I'm just glad to be here when they let me come in for a few games when Chris has to be at Notre Dame Stadium. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line, their own 40 for Lake Highlands. Smith hands the ball off to Rhodes. And, boy, he lowers his shoulder and gets about 9 yards after the contact. It'll be 2nd down and about 1.
Took 5, 6, 7 Rangers that time to bring him down, and it was a good thing they did because we've seen what happens when he breaks into the secondary. As you see here, it's good blocking up front for Lake Highlands. Starts with number 14, that's Joe Norman, and then the rest of the Rangers gang tackle him down, and he gets a 1st down on that play still, guys.
And he got a good block. You saw it there, number 74, Brandon Gibbs. McGoldrick made the tackle finally, but he got 10. 1st down. Back to pass, play action for Smith. He's going deep again. Good coverage out there, and it is incomplete. Great coverage out there by Jesuits number 24, Jack Beret. He was by himself on the post pattern, and, Babe, look at this defense. Do you like this technique?
Oh, man, Chuck Smith gave him a chance here. This is a good throw, but just excellent defense, and that's exactly how you want to coach it. Get that left hand in, keep the right hand off of the receiver like that. What a nice play.
But the ball was right there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, my goodness, as a former quarterback.
That was an NFL throw, and that was an NFL play by the defensive back.
Yeah, he threw that ball from about the 44-yard line, and it was just laid out there perfectly. 2nd down, 10. Not many incomplete passes tonight for Smith. Let's see if he goes to Christian Rhodes. No, back to pass. Here comes the Jesuit rush. He will fire it, and wow, right over the 1st defensive back, right before the 2nd defensive back, and he brings it in at the Ranger 37.
Yeah, Simon McGoldrick was underneath that throw, and he had a corner behind him, and Chuck Smith really does a nice job. But again, it's that layered throw over the linebacker, before the corner, before the safety, and really nice throw and catch there.
Conrad Ince is the receiver who brought it in. He's 6'3".
You see how dynamic he is, though, guys. Chuck Smith, obviously not just a deep ball thrower. I mean, that's a very layered throw outside to the flat over the linebacker, as Babe mentioned, so he can do it all.
Yeah, and he'll fire it out to the right side this time with blockers out in front on the short throw. Beret is there to make the play. Weissmuller is also there.
You know, you talk about that deep ball throw there, Kevin, too. I was watching a coaching clinic by Lincoln Riley, and he kind of kicks himself sometimes when he calls a go route. Many times they're incorporated into patterns, so you might have a go with something underneath. And he said, I hate it when I do it, the guy's going to throw it, and then we're 2nd and 10. And I said, why did I do that? And I wanted to tell him, if you call the go pattern, quarterback's going to throw it.
Right.
You know why? Because chicks dig the long ball, right?
Back to pass,
and
looking deep again. And it's thrown perfectly. Oh, my goodness. That is just a big-time throw. I mean, single coverage. And the ball just could not be delivered any more beautifully than that one was. I don't know. There's not many defensive backs that can stop that one. First of all, he gets great protection. Look at that. No pressure at all. And, babe, look at this throw.
It's just perfect. Franklin Evans is the receiver on this and for Lake Highlands. And, just, again, I don't know what you tell your DB.
That was a linebacker that time, too.
Okay, yeah, he's in his hip. It's all he could do.
High snap, but they bring it in, and the kick is up, and it's good. And it's 35-14. So are you to a point now down 21 where if you're anywhere where you feel like you're kind of beyond the midfield stripe, you're going to be 4-down territory, I think. I think, this offense is good. I mean, these guys from Lake Highlands, I think they could make a playoff run here. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win the state championship, but I think they could be a dangerous team because they're not only good offensively, but, Kevin, they got a great defense.
That's right. We've seen it all night long, what they can do on both sides of the ball. On special teams, they've made some noise too. So just like Coach Hickman talked about for the Rangers, complete, keys to the game, wanted to win all sides of the ball. It's been Lake Highlands so far who's had the upper hand all night. You mentioned it, Tom. Obviously you want to keep the ball as much as possible. That one drive over 16 minutes is great for the Rangers. Maybe you try to pin Lake Highlands back a little bit. They haven't started with the ball yet, other than being on their own 40-yard line. So maybe we try to get a drive where you could pin them back inside the 10, inside the 5. Jesuit could bring some pressure, but their offense seems to be working. We'll just do this quick scoring drive here. 5 plays, 60 yards, 1 minute, 26 seconds. It's Evans, 37 yards from Smith. That's his 3rd touchdown catch this year. The scoring summary is brought by Vanguard Auto Group. With GMC, Kia, and Ford dealerships in the DFW Metroplex and surrounding areas, we're here to be your hometown dealer. Visit VanguardAutoGroup.com and schedule your test drive today. Go Rangers.
There's the kick. It's going to be returnable about the 3-yard line. To the center of the field, to the 10, to the 15, cuts it back, breaks 1 tackle, and is going to get just beyond the 20-yard line. So the Rangers offense is going to have their work cut out for them. 35-14 is your score. Tom Walsh, Kevin Fitzsimmons, Babe Laughenberg, Chris Martinez, Henry Jeedy. We're glad you're with us tonight on Rangers Sports Network and Tradio. 6:51 to go, second quarter of play. The Rangers offense desperately needs to give this defense a little chance to regroup and also to get some points. They did have the 116-play drive 2 drives ago that the Rangers were able to convert for the touchdown. They'll swing it out to Parker, and he is taken down. The defender loses his helmet. He'll have to come out of the game, but again, just that attacking style and so sure-handed as tacklers. Israel Samuel was quickly there and a loss on the play all the way back to the 16.
It's almost like he knew the play.
My goodness.
He was out there so quick.
Good to see Parker back on the field, guys. He hobbled off a couple of drives ago, maybe dealing with a little bit of that ankle injury that he had earlier in the season, so it's great to see him back in for the Rangers.
He's a great baseball player, Babe, as well. Shane Parker, he's obviously a dynamic football player, but I think baseball may be where we see him playing at the next level. A second down, play action. Barry fires it, caught by Koenigs. He's got a first down out to the 33-yard line. 34-yard line, it looks, is why it was done. So that's Koenig's second big catch over the middle. Rangers go tempo. There's the snap. Barry back to Kirby, trying to get those blocks. It's just nothing there. He'll lose about a yard. Back to the 33-yard line. So, Babe, what do you do there? That's obviously Lake Highlands has scouted them very well, and they're not able to get that one untracked again.
Yeah, I call those plays feast or famine. When they get blown up, they look awful. You're like, why'd they call that? And all of a sudden you make a guy miss or you get a block, and as you know, up the sideline, 20, 30, 40 yards.
We saw Lake Highlands do it with Christian Rhodes on a little swing pass. Second down, 10. No loss on the play officially. 2 wide receivers each way. 5:35 to go, second quarter. DeBow goes in motion. Barry, quarterback run. Now he's going to throw it. Caught! 50, 40. Lindley down the sideline. Inside the 30-yard line. Wyatt makes the tackle. And how about Beck Barry, Babe, as he rolled right? Talk about what you just saw there.
Well, I was hoping he was not past the line of scrimmage, which he ended up not being, but looked like he got pretty close there because it's a real short drop, as you see. Peels off to the side. No, he was in good shape there. I thought he got a little closer there once he came out.
Handoff, DeBow. Short gain to about the 23-yard line. But the Rangers showing a lot of fight tonight against a outstanding team. Jeremiah Jones made the tackle from Lake Highlands. An outstanding team on both sides defensively. Look at that play again, Babe.
Yeah, just really nice touch here by Barry to just kind of loft it. Doesn't panic.
And look at the speed really by nice Lindley, by the way. Yeah. I mean, he had some jets, didn't he?
Now you see him trying to strip it from behind. That's why people say, oh, bad tackling now. I think it's because everybody goes for the ball now and not the tackle. First guy's got to go for the tackle. Second guy can come and try to get the ball.
4 wide receivers left. Cade Kirby's to the right. Looks like they may be doubling him over there. Beck-Berry goes right and will keep it on a designed run to about the 21-yard line. That's going to bring up a third down. Theriot again, who's been everywhere tonight defensively for Lake Highlands. We're calling his name over and over.
Well, I'm all in favor of taking your points, getting your 3, stack them up. But in this game, I'm not so sure if I'm Brandon Hickman, the Rangers head coach, that I'm not saying, okay, I got 2 plays here. We got to figure out a way to get a first down.
Yeah, that's right. And I think we've talked about it early on in the broadcast, Tom, but 2 starting offensive linemen out for the Rangers. I think we've seen that defensive line cause some pressure for Lake Highlands. I want to see if the Rangers will continue to try and put the ball on the ground here, as Babe said, with maybe 2 plays to go in this drive.
3rd and 6, about 9 guys on the line of scrimmage. They'll throw left side. Cade Kirby! He's got it! What a throw by Beck-Berry! Kirby brought it in! What a throw, and it's 31-20. Meek was on the coverage. The coverage was great, but the throw was perfect.
You could not have had a better throw, and it needed to be a perfect throw because there was not a lot of separation over there. Really good defense, great throw, great catch. I'm telling you, I'm enjoying watching these 2 quarterbacks throw the
This has
around.
been a fun one.
Let's just turn it into a 7-on-7 game, can we?
As Cooper Magoo brings up the kick here, we've talked about Cade Kirby being in single coverage out there on the left side all night. That time he made him pay.
Really nice job, and they came after Beck-Berry there. They were 7 up on that line.
I mean, there was 9 guys. Look at the defensive line.
And they were not hiding their cards there. They were up there and saying, hey, we're coming. Boy, what a nice throw. What a nice
And
throw.
what good hands by Cade Kirby. Yeah. Bildy was on the coverage. He was right there. And I mean, I got to tell you, the best sponsorship you can buy tonight, the Scoring Drive Summary.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys are tired of doing it, let me know. And I'll call the summary.
Well, we've talked about it all season long. When you're playing with or for the Jesuit Rangers, the Scoring Drive Summaries are going to be a good one. We read it after every scoring drive for Jesuit or for otherwise. That time, 7 plays, 79 yards, 3 minutes, 14 seconds. For the Rangers, it's Cade Kirby, senior wide receiver, 21 yards from Beck-Berry. That's his 5th receiving touchdown of the year, guys, and that leads the Rangers. And gets us back within 2 scores as well. That scoring summary, again, brought to you by Vanguard Auto Group. Thanks to Chris Martinez as well for keeping us updated on these stats. He's been busy so far tonight.
We need to charge Vanguard Auto Group some more money for the sponsorship tonight, right? They're getting their money's worth. Short kick, fair catch, called for at the 27-yard line. This is going to be the worst field position that Lake Highlands has had at their own 27.
You know who hasn't been busy tonight?
Who's that?
The Lake Highlands punter.
Chris
Martinez, have they punted yet? They have not punted. Yeah, 0.
Well,
Mom and Dad are out here. Grandpa and Grandma are watching on our YouTube channel. Let's say, seriously, he is on the team. He just hasn't come on the field yet.
You know, Right Legal PLLC is our halftime show sponsor. Life situations sometimes seem daunting and you don't know where to start. Our trusted group of professionals at Right Legal specialize in helping with all matters relating to estate, probate, business, and tax issues. Paul Wright from the Jesuit class of 1986, Right Legal PLLC. Tom Garrison, Jesuit principal for 14 years, will come in and be our halftime guest. Looking forward to visiting with Tom. So 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. Low snap. They'll swing it out to the left side, and it's almost picked. Oh, my. That was 6. If they can bring it in, but it goes incomplete. Wambacher had a shot. Boy, the Ranger defense with great penetration, and that could have been big there, guys.
That was going to be a house call, too, but nice job of just knocking it down. And I was just going to say, you know, you got a 35-21 game. Jesuits down. You've got 3:40 remaining in the first half. You get a takeaway here. You go down as Jesuit and score, and you got a one-possession game going into halftime.
And remember, Lake Highlands does get the ball to start the second half. So holding them here is huge because this could be a 2-for-1. 3:41 to go. Second quarter. Jesuit trails 14, 35-21. 2 2-0 teams in the district. There's the snap. Handoff. Christian Rhodes. And he is going to be taken down. I mean, he is so tough. 6'2". I think he got a great spot on this side. And that may be a first down. McGoldrick made the tackle. And I didn't think he got there, but they spotted him up there. I think a generous spot.
Looks like he's just short.
It'll be 3rd down and 1. Clock is running. 3:31 to go. It's huge if the Rangers can just keep them off the board, right, guys? Tom Walsh, Kevin Fitzsimmons, and Babe Laughenberg, our analysts tonight. 3rd down and 1. Smith will stay in the gun. Chuck Smith had a beautiful touchdown throw just a play ago. Handoff. 1st down yardage. Breaking tackles to about the 43-yard line. But probably the best gang tackling we've seen so far tonight, Kevin, from the Rangers.
Absolutely, Tom, and I think the Lake Highlands Wildcats going to be comfortable here probably to run some clock, as Babe talked about, winding in towards the end of the first half, end of the second quarter. That time it's number 3. We haven't seen too much in the backfield of number 3, Franklin Evans Jr., also a dynamic player for the Wildcats, but it still gets them a 1st down.
So empty backfield. Watch out for Rhodes. He's in the slot to the left side with a linebacker on him. He's wide open. They swing it out, and he dropped it. My goodness. I mean, that was dangerous. No one was out there to get him, Babe. And if he catches that and makes one guy miss, he's gone.
Yeah, and he just flat out dropped it there.
Yeah, the Rangers needed that break. 2nd down 10.
Andres Van was out there, but it was going to be a one-on-one.
Yes.
I mean, if
and Andres is a good tackler, but that guy's a hard one to bring down.
And if you don't get him to the ground, it's 6 points.
Yep.
And Andres Van is 5'10", 190, and I think we've talked about a number of different times already. We're 6'2", 210 out there for the running back.
Handoff Rhodes. And he is going to be 1st down yardage again. I mean, he's got to be averaging about 30 yards a carry because he had the 70-yarder as well. And tackles made by McGoldrick. Well, how long was that big run that he had to start? 63 yards. I gave him 7 extra yards, guys. But, I mean, he's almost like 10 yards guaranteed every time he goes between the tackles. So that offensive line's opening up some big holes for Christian Rhodes.
It is a big offensive line they have as well.
1st down at the Ranger 46-yard line. Lake Highlands happy to work some clock. Play action for Smith. Good protection. Fires it deep, and it's incomplete. The Rangers have had they haven't put I don't know if sure they put a paw on the quarterback. Ben Phillips was out there in coverage. There is a flag that comes down late. Holding against the offense. First offensive holding call I think we've had tonight on either team.
I think that's right, Tom. And, Babe, I was going to ask you, as you think about a dynamic, explosive offense like this for Lake Highlands, for Jesuit's defense, are you just trying to contain those guys? Do you want to bring some pressure, try to make something happen? It's a tough sell. I mean, because if they get out into open space, we've seen what they can do.
Yep. I mean, if you come after them, when we saw Lake Highlands do it to Jesuit, right?
Yeah, they brought the house.
Now you're one-on-one on the outside, and Jesuit hits the touchdown. These receivers have some speed. I don't know that you want to leave your corners out there one-on-one with them, but to your point, you need to shake it up, try to shake the ball out even.
That's what they call it, Babe. I know you're used to saying the 2-minute warning, but it's the 2-minute timeout. And
we're going to stay here, though, right? We're not taking.
We're not taking a timeout. We're always working.
Okay, then I've got to do this for you. You don't know these people, Tom?
Yes,
but I'm going to give them a shout out if you don't mind.
We'd love it. Please.
Okay, it's Jeff Staubach.
Jeff Staubach.
Okay, they're all down. You don't know him. Brian Leake, Joey Weaver, Danny Lowry, James Toll, Mike Coe, Clayton Klein, David Frost, and Jimmy Archer.
Jimmy Archie.
Yeah, Archie. Excuse me.
Yeah. Jesuit Hall of Famer.
You don't know any of them.
Well, I got to tell you something. What's crazy to me is Jeff Staubach's my friend, too, and he's texting you and not me.
No, they said, do not tell Tom we're texting you.
Jeff.
But I blew it.
Jeff, we've known each other for years. And you text Babe Laughenberg, but no. That's a good group right there.
So they're down at Horseshoe Bay. They're enjoying their 20th annual boys trip, right?
Well, I didn't get invited to that either.
1991 TCIL state championship team. Finished ranked 4th in the state. Did you know that?
Wow. Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you this. Jimmy Archie, played at Princeton.
Oh, yeah.
And is great friends with friend Jason Garrett.
He goes to Jason Garrett's football camp. I see Jimmy up there.
Matter of fact, Jason came to the Hall of Fame induction of Jimmy Archie into the Jesuit Hall of Fame that I emceed, and Jason told me he thought the emceeing was fantastic. Okay, 1st down and 20. Back at their own 43-yard line. There's the snap, play action. Smith will fire it out to the left side, has a blocker out in front. Watch out down the left sideline. Boy, that was dangerous. They really set that up with the blockers, don't they, Babe?
I just want to get back to that, Tom. Only you, on the night that Jimmy Archie goes into the Hall of Fame can take credit as, boy, the speaker, the MC was great. I mean, how about giving the guy a little credit, okay?
Well, I got you something. It was really good emceeing. Okay, but
I have never left an event where I said, wow, that MC was really good. And I've emceed a little myself.
Even when you were the MC, babe.
Yeah, no, even when I was the MC.
All right, so watch out, folks. 1:47 to go, second quarter. If you're just joining us, it's a shootout so far tonight here at Ranger Stadium. 35-21, 3 receivers now in a bunch formation over to the right side.
Getting the game clock squared away.
1:53, I think, is what they're going to put on the game clock. Put 6 more seconds.
Let me just tell you something. The MC at an event, okay, it's a little bit like the corpse at an Irish wake.
Necessary?
Not supposed to do anything, but they need you to throw the party. Okay? Okay?
Well, Jay, babe, I MC a lot of events around here. What are you trying to say? First down and 10 inside Jesuit territory. Smith looking right. Quick throw. And nice positive yardage inside the 30-yard line there. Tackle was made by Weissmuller. It'll be second down at about 6.
It's good coverage deep that time, guys, from Jack Beret. I think Chuck Smith had his eyes downfield looking for the long ball, but it was good coverage that time, made him throw it a little bit shorter. Rangers now trying to hold this Lake Highlands offense from scoring 125 as we tick down on the clock.
Trey Willis had that reception. He had the block that sprung Christian Rhodes earlier. Back to pass Smith. Here he's under pressure for the first time tonight. And they've got him. He'll just throw it out of bounds. And a nice job by the Jesuit Ranger rush. Tanner Krug, the captain, came in and made the play. And, you know, they were trying to hit Christian Rhodes over here to the left side, guys, and the Rangers had that one really well defended. He had to look for a second and third reads.
And you saw what they did, maybe, babe. They brought Rhodes out there and faked everybody out, sent somebody wide open down the middle of the field. Rangers fortunate that Krug that time had the pressure, because I think Smith was about to throw that one into the end zone.
Finally got that pass rush going.
So 1:12 to go. Big third down. I think this may be the first third down tonight for Lake Highlands. Third down tonight for Lake Highlands. How did I forget the other two? They've been so rare. 1:12 to go in the second quarter. Big play here. There's a snap. Back to pass. Oh, it looks like a holding. Come on the right side. Are you kidding me? And the first down, I mean, the official's looking right at it. Tanner Krug comes around the far right side. I mean, let's see if we can take a look at that one. My
Brandon
goodness.
Hickman
I mean, that was.
Brandon Hickman's giving the referee an earful.
I mean, he looked right at it. It looked like a hold all the way. Tackled him as he was coming around the corner. Oh, my. I mean, look, the officials have a lot harder job than I do up here, but that looked like a pretty obvious call to me. And the official looked right at it. Let's see here. Look at number 73. He's got his jersey and just takes him to the ground. He's got the jersey right there. I mean, how do you not call that?
I thought that was like, you know, after games, NFL games, guys go on the field, they do the jersey swap. I thought he was trying to do a jersey swap there with our.
I mean, the thing is, the official was looking right at it. Looked right at it and looked away.
Hey, Tom, you know how you said the officials have a harder job than you have?
Yes.
But they don't have a harder job than Kevin and I have dealing with you. Okay, I just want you to know that.
Let me tell you something, though. I want to get back to something that's very important with the timeout on the field. I am a very good MC.
I knew that's where we were going back to.
Hey, and by the way, if you want to
I didn't know I hit a nerve there.
If you want to see me in action, I think it's November the 1st.
Oh, you
Saturday night, the Jesuit Sports Hall of Fame banquet chaired the Sports Hall of Fame selection committee by Jimmy Archie, who we just talked about.
I think it's November 15th, Tom, but we'll correct that. We'll get that right for folks.
Is it November 15th?
I think that's right, a couple weeks later.
Well, it's within November. I'm coming, and I'm emceeing it.
I hope you have the right date.
I think that I am. Maybe I won't after I just proclaimed the date wrong. November 15th. Sean McMullen is listening, our alumni director. First down at the Ranger 17. I mean, that was just a horrendous no call, in my opinion. Rolling left. Smith fires it, and it's the defender did a great job of closing on it, but he brought it in. Andres Van. I thought Andres had a shot for a minute, but that ball by Smith was zipped in there for the completion.
Man, they could see it a little bit better than us, but I thought the receiver was right there on the out-of-bounds line. He must have done well to get his feet in bounds because that was very close.
I do like that, though. So we're at the 35. We're at the north 35. That play is in the south end zone. We're about 100 yards away, and when the fans say, "Oh, that's a bad call," so you could see it better than the guy that was 4 feet away.
First down, goal to go at the 4-yard line. Back to pass, Smith. Under pressure, fires it over the middle.
Did we catch that?
Touchdown.
Oh,
Wow, what a throw by Chuck Smith. I mean, unbelievable. Under pressure. He zipped that. Take a look at, what do you see here,
Yeah,
Paige?
got him on the run. Then he steps up. Look at that little move right there just to buy some time. And wow, good throw.
And a great catch. I mean, it was a good throw.
Let me just say, we were seeing some good offensive football and good playmaking tonight.
I mean, that was Franklin Evans Jr. that brings that one in. And with 43 seconds to go here in the first half, it's now 41-21. There's a snap, the hold, the kick. It's up. It's perfect. And 42-21. So Jesuit will have 43 seconds. They'll have no timeouts left. They will stop the clock while they reset the chains. And, man, I'm impressed with Lake Highlands. No doubt about it. These guys are the real deal.
Yep.
We'll take a minute here right at the end of the second quarter to thank our second quarter sponsor, Veritex Bank, proud to serve as the official bank of the Jesuit Dallas Rangers. We share a strong commitment to serving the community and making a difference in the lives of others. Learn how our shared values make Veritex Bank and Jesuit a winning team at www.veritexbank.com. Member FDIC. We talked about the Sports Hall of Fame real quick, Tom. Want to give a shout out to my classmate, class of 2011, Kingsley Bryce, who was a soccer player here on the state championship team as a junior in 2010, and then went on to my alma mater in college, St. Louis University, and played soccer for 4 years there for the Billikens as well. So congratulations to Kingsley and the other folks who are going into the Hall this year, the Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and I think if I'm remembering, maybe Sean McMullen can remind me via text, but I think Darius Hill, the great baseball player, is one of the Hall of Famers. I think there's, we'll see if we can get that list for you. It is November 15th. Call Sean McMullen at the alumni office if you want to come. It's always a great event, always well attended, always well emceed. There's the kick, taking it about, goes into the end zone, and Jesuit has to pick it up and take it out. Breaking some tackles, but because the ball was not able to be caught cleanly, he had to bring it out of the end zone, and the Rangers will, I would think here, just take a knee and get into the house here because you're inside your own 10-yard line. But the bad news for the Rangers is they have to kick off to start the second half.
You want some good news and bad news, Tom?
Yes, sir.
Good news. Franklin Evans, the wide receiver for Lake Highlands, they've held him to 2 catches tonight. Bad news?
Both touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was guessing. I did not cheat on that. But I heard, by the way, I heard your trivia question this morning.
Oh.
On
nope.
105.3 The Fan.
We'll get to it after this play here.
And I got it wrong as well.
I imagine.
That guy Peyton always gets it right.
He is so smart.
Yes. But there's the snap. Handoff. Parker just goes up the gut, and I think Jesuit will just have this one.
Yeah. I know 21 down, you don't want to sit there and take a knee, but you also don't want anything bad to happen down at your end of the field. Ball's inside the 20 seconds, no timeouts. That's a smart move.
Why don't you give this trivia question at the Jesuit Rangers? Why don't you give the trivia question to Kevin, Henry, and Chris? Let's hear it.
So Dak Prescott right now has the second most passing yards in the NFL through 5 games. Matthew Stafford, Highland Park Zone, has the most passing yards. So can you name the quarterbacks of the Dallas Cowboys who led the NFL in passing yardage?
For a whole season?
Whole season.
So, Chris, we'll let you vote as well.
Chris, did you hear that?
Yeah, okay. So let's go, first of all.
Single season.
We'll go youngest. We'll go youngest, oldest. Who are you guessing? Henry, you got a guess? Single Dallas Cowboy led the NFL in passing. You got a guess? He says Roger Staubach. Okay, Hall of Famer.
Good
we
guess.
just heard from Jeff Staubach's father. I mean, people know Roger is Jeff Staubach's father, right? Because that's you.
Kevin? Let's go with Troy Aikman.
He's going with Troy Aikman, who
Chris
is a good
Martinez.
friend of Babe Laughenberg. Yeah, I've heard it.
Don Meredith. All good guesses. You know what the answer is?
Well, zero.
No Cowboys quarterback has ever. Now, they've won 5 Super Bowls, but they haven't done it while leading the league in passing.
Thanks to Emmitt Smith and many other great running backs
exactly.
that have kept the offense nice and balanced.
You know what's funny,
We
Kevin?
didn't need a passing leader.
You just gave me a job. You know what the job is? Seriously.
Who have we led in rushing?
No.
Oh.
How many quarterbacks have led the NFL in passing yardage and won the Super Bowl?
Oh, that's a good
I think Brady
one.
did it.
I'm sure Peyton Manning did it.
But, yeah, I think Peyton may have done it.
I bet Drew Brees did it once or twice, too.
So we're going to have, well, he didn't do it twice because he only
Just
won
one Super Bowl. That's right.
But that's what's so funny, too, guys, about people thinking, oh, this guy's going to win 2, 3 Super Bowls. And Drew Brees went to 1. Brett Favre went to 2, won 1.
Wow. I mean, these guys
Aaron
are
Rodgers
all-time statistics leaders. Yep.
Aaron Rodgers, of course, still playing 21 years or whatever. He's been to 1 Super Bowl.
Wow.
So, I always love when guys come out and they say, oh, this guy's he's going to win 2, 3 Super Bowls. It's like, it's hard to just get to 1.
Well, you look at what Patrick Mahomes has done at such a young age in his career. That makes that impressive, right?
Crazy.
Obviously, Tom Brady and all the Super Bowls the Patriots won in their dynasty.
Brett Favre won his Super Bowl at 27.
Never won
Aaron
again.
Rodgers won his Super Bowl at 27.
Both with the Packers.
Jordan Love this year will turn
27.
There you go.
Oh,
so
boy.
he better get it now.
Oh,
wow.
Troy Aikman won his Super Bowl. Of course, he had 3. But he won 1 at 27. He also won 1 at 26. And then I guess
24.
Yeah, so.
Wow.
Well, guys, let me close the loop. We heard from Sean McMullen. Looks like we were right, Kevin. We were not forgetting anybody. 2 gentlemen will be inducted into the Jesuit Sports Hall of Fame this year. Darius Hill from the class of 2015 in baseball, and Bernie Lancaster, who you talked about, from the class of 06 in tennis, who also played at St. Louis University. They'll also be celebrating the 2001 Rugby State Championship team. So I'll ask our producer, do we want to take a break or stay here? Do we have a break? Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk to Tom Garrison about all things Jesuit. What's going on, our principal. So we'll take a break. The high score at the half, Lake Highlands 42, Jesuit 21. We'll be back in a moment.
Go! Go! And the Rangers win the game!
Welcome back. Tom Walsh, Babe Laughenberg, Kevin Fitzsimmons, Chris Martinez, Henry Jeedy. This is our halftime show, and that's brought by Wright Legal, our sponsor of the halftime show. Paul Wright from the Jesuit class of 86. Life situations sometimes seem daunting, and you don't know where to start. Our trusted group of professionals at Wright Legal specialize in helping with all matters relating to estate, probate, business, and tax issues. Wright Legal, PLLC. It's easy for me to say. Let's bring on our principal. I believe in his 14th year, or is this 15? This is 15 years. I'm shortening him a year. Tom Garrison, my good friend. Tom, of course, your first year was the 2012 season, I believe, because we were over in Ireland to watch Jesuit play that year. We had a great time. We went over, and Chris Martinez and I were there. Kevin's dad, Jack Fitzsimmons, was there, and we played Loyola Jesuit from Willamette, Illinois, and, of course, Cody Wicker hit the 27-yard field goal in a gusty Irish wind to beat Loyola Jesuit.
Narrow field goal.
Very narrow. The rugby field. It was not regulation. It was a rugby goal post. Everyone agreed to play. There was a guy named, I believe his name was Mike Sullivan, who was the Notre Dame public address announcer before our own Chris Ackles took over the duties, and he was there and was clearly rooting for the Chicago team, but the Jesuit Rangers were able to pull that one off. So Tom Garrison, 15 years as our Jesuit principal. Tom, great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
Well, we're thrilled to have you. So talk to us, my friend. I mean, you're now in October.
Yes, sir.
This is a great time of year. You're kind of maybe halfway into the semester. As you look back on the first half of the semester, anything kind of standing out to you that's always something that you enjoy when you are doing your principal duties?
Well, we got a couple weeks ago, we had our seniors on their community days, and that's a favorite of mine. And sometimes I have to travel for a meeting, and I miss part of it. But this year I got to do it start to finish. I had a small group, had a wonderful group of young men, a lot of fun. The weather was perfect. We had we go to a retreat center down in McKinney now, and it's spacious, lots of room for the guys to stretch out and run around and just have a great time. Guys come back changed from that experience. Kevin's nodding his head. He remembers.
Well, let's talk about what community days. I mean, obviously, if you've got a son that's come here to Jesuit, you know what it is or you know what's coming. But let's assume there's an 8th grade dad or a 7th grade mom or a 6th grade, young man who's listening right now. Can you give us a little bit of background on what community days is?
Well, people call it a senior retreat, but it's different in that a retreat is usually a small group of young men who are given a lot of time alone. But this is the entire class, and they're given no time alone.
And it's the senior
class. Always
class.
Together. The senior class. Yeah, this happens at senior year. It's a culmination. We do it at the beginning of the year, though, because we want to cement the class, and they really set the pace for the rest of the school the rest of the year. And that's the language I use with them. I was like, you guys are going to set the tone for the school. I can't do it. No other adult in this building does it. It's the seniors.
And, Chris Ackles and I talked to Carson Long, who's been a member of our broadcast for 4 years now, and he talked about how he's met students in his class, young men in his class, that he hasn't talked to much in his 3 years as being a Jesuit student, and it's a great time to really, for the entire class to gel. Great to be with you, Mr. Garrison. It'll be hard for me to call you Tom.
Oh, please.
I'm already having a hard time calling Mr. Walsh Tom as I make my way back to Dallas and to around Jesuit for the first time since being a student myself, really in 2011. But Tom Walsh and I were talking about it as we drove in, all the construction and things that are going on out in the front of the school along Inwood Road. Mind giving us maybe an update, Mr.
Absolutely.
Garrison, on how that's going and what that's going to look like for the next few months?
Well, and you called me Mr. Garrison. I caught this. Tom is fine. First of all, it's going to be beautiful, and we should be in there by Easter. We'll be in there by April, at some point in April. It's on time and on budget, and the big, beautiful signature piece of that construction project is going to be a chapel that seats 350 people. And so we'll be able to get an entire class in there. We'll be able to give in full class liturgies. Right now we do an 8 a.m. liturgy every day, but it's in the residence chapel, which maybe seats 40 people, maybe 50, 40 or so. This will be 350. It's going to have a beautiful pipe organ donated by the Don Dorsey estate. He was my chemistry teacher when I was a junior.
Oh, that's really
awesome.
neat.
Back in
That's
1990, 91, he was my chemistry teacher. So it's just going to be this beautiful space. On top of that, there will be a learning resource center for academic services. We will have 2 full-time learning specialists there to help guys from just, with all kinds of different things, study skills, organization. That's the kind of stuff that guys, sometimes need a little support on. Mm-hmm. There'll be a math lab up there. There'll be a writing lab up there, publications lab, all kinds of spaces for the guys to be. And the library will be expanded as well. So it's going to be nice, again, just places for guys to be and do their work.
And what do we? I mean, it's the Tom Walsh wing. What are we calling this thing?
That could be arranged.
It could be arranged. You should put me in touch with BJ
I
Entes.
can talk to you after this production. Yes, sir.
Well, I know one thing that's important too is that the sort of entryway for cars and things to the school is going to be expanded. I'll never forget Tom Walsh, my first day at Jesuit, long anticipated, obviously, with my dad having been here for forever, my brother being here. I got out of the car as a freshman. It was the fall of 2007, and the first person to greet me outside of that car, Tom Garrison.
Oh, my gosh.
He was right there, shook my hand, said hello as I walked in for my first day at Jesuit. Haven't forgotten that, and obviously it was a special 4 years after that.
I'm sure you remember that moment.
I tell you, there's a few colleagues' sons that I remember, classmates' sons that I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Those are special as well. And now I've been around long enough. Some of my students' sons are coming through, and that's when you go, oh boy.
But let's not forget the most important son. Your own son.
My own son. Yeah, he's down there tonight. He's photographing for the yearbook.
And what year is he now?
He's a junior.
He's a junior. And I remember I called Tom. I think I said this last year on the air, but I'm going to say it again. I called Tom last year at some point in the morning, and he answered, and he said, hey, You're on speaker, and you know.
My son's in the car.
Your son's in the car.
Don't say anything.
All of a sudden, I heard, "Hello, Mr. Walsh," and his voice was so low. I was like, that is not who I remember, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they changed so much. Hey, Tom, speaking with Tom Garrison right now, our principal, 15th year here at Jesuit. My favorite event at Jesuit, besides the Jesuit Sports Hall of Fame, which I've been fortunate to MC for 21 years, would be the Majas Golf Tournament.
Oh, boy,
and that
yes.
is coming
Talk
up on
about
Monday.
A day, and the weather's going to be perfect.
It's going to be perfect.
Gonna
You're
be
going to
great.
be there.
I'll be there.
I'll be there. Anybody that you know from Jesuit, that everyone's going to be there. It is the place to be at Stonebriar Country Club in Frisco, and it is a fabulous golf tournament.
I've got an ace up my sleeve for this year.
Who'd you bring on?
Father John Pulse is going to be on my team.
Is he playing with
He can play golf.
All right. Is he playing with you and Mike?
He is.
And Win Bell,
he is.
our chair?
Yes. So, yeah, he looks strong enough to carry us, so I'm excited. I'm excited to play with him.
But you know what, though? I mean, I'm a little offended you didn't see if I was available to join your foursome, but you probably knew I had my own foursome.
I knew you had your own.
I had my own foursome.
We're trying to keep up with you.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, I have brought out a ringer in Mike Cleary, also a Jesuit Sports Hall of Famer and an excellent golfer.
Nice.
And so I've got a great golf team, and we're looking forward to competing. You know, we've gotten to the par 3 shootout at the end of the tournament now. 2 times we've gotten to the finals.
Yeah, I've just
and
had to
twice
watch
we've
that
lost,
as a spectator.
but we've lost the finals. We are the Buffalo Bills. We've never been able to win the championship, but we've gotten there. And by the way, I contribute nothing to that. So anyways, we're talking to Tom Garrison from the Jesuit class of 2000, what?
1991.
92. One year ahead of the young man who texted earlier. Yep. Those guys were all 93.
Great.
1992. Well, Tom.
And Mike Cleary was from the class of 95. One of my all-time favorite basketball players of Dad's.
Wow,
There's some legendary teams in the mid to the
that's
late
right.
90s.
Jack was coaching then.
Yep.
Yes, that's right.
And you know, not only was he is he a great athlete, Jesuit Sports Hall of Famer, but he's just a great person. Mike Cleary, one of my favorites, and make sure y'all tell him I said these things on the air about him before we show up on Monday.
Before we see him Monday.
Yeah, but so Tom, what is it like to have your son as a student at Jesuit? I mean, you know, you watched him grow up. He's your only child, and obviously you were hoping he would want to come here. He obviously did. I think he was aiming to be a Ranger from about age 3. But what's it been like to see him walking through the halls? And does he say things like, "Hey, Dad," or does he say, "Hey, let me do my thing"?
No, I get kind of a head nod every now and then. What's up? You know, it's what he told my wife in his freshman year. He said his biggest fear was I would embarrass him. And it's like that's what dads live to do, right? I mean, that's not fair. I should be able to embarrass my kid just because I'm his principal doesn't mean I shouldn't be embarrassing to him. But no, we have a really good existence together now. He did keep his head down freshman year, but I think he's comfortable that I'm not going to do anything too stupid and embarrass him. He's really into robotics. And it's been fun to watch. And I'll tell you the thing I have learned. I mean, I've been here I think this is my 29th year working here. And I had no concept of how busy these young men were. I thought I knew. I mean, why wouldn't I know?
Yeah, you're the principal.
Right. But then when I'm driving one of them around his freshman and sophomore year, I thought, oh, my God, these guys are busy. And they are always doing something, and they do lots of different things. And it's been fun to watch. And I had to, put my running shoes on to keep up with them. So a lot of fun.
Let's talk about that, Tom. Obviously, you've been around Jesuit for a long time, class of 92, as we just said. You were there as a student. You've been there now as a faculty member for 20-plus years.
Almost 30 years.
Almost 30 years, principal for 15. Every week I feel like we're talking to the halftime guest, Tom Walsh, about what makes Jesuit special. Talk to us, about what you've seen, Tom, as kind of what's something that's been consistent about Jesuit for those 30-plus years you've been around. And then what's something that's new? What's something that's fresh that you're noticing, seeing in the last few years with guys coming in, students that are at the school now?
By the way, that's an excellent question.
That's
one that I've never asked before in 28 years. All right, go ahead, Tom.
I could do a lot with it. So I had the pleasure of meeting with one of our first-year teachers this year, today. Today, she and I had a meeting, and she comes to us after 14 years of teaching in a school district, and she was just on fire, so excited, telling me how much she loves the community here. I think she's here tonight. She and a group of her colleagues come to the games on Friday night. They work out together on Friday afternoons. They've just formed this community. And what she told me was she was praying for a community. She was working in a school where she just didn't feel that. And she was praying for this. And I had a situation where we had the opportunity to make a hire late in the summer. And sometimes you just don't want to do that because it's hard to find people late in the summer. But she had been praying. She happened to look the day we posted the job.
Wow.
Applied that day. I've never had a 24-hour turnaround that quick and clean, and she's been a gem for us. But that's what you want, is you want these people who are so happy. So that's one thing that makes it very special. The second part of your question was,
what's
it was
something
a two-part question.
What's something maybe newer that we're seeing with the guys? Something that's consistent about Jesuit, but then something that's newer and different that you've seen in the last few years.
Absolutely. Okay, so this is an interesting thing. It's so what I have noticed is the kids are taking the lead on some of their spiritual development. So in the past 4 or 5 years, we've seen this development, these groups of young men. We've got the godly guys, the religious rangers. Each grade level has a group of young men. And a thing that I've noticed is a very concrete thing that you can count. The number of guys going up to celebrate the sacrament of reconciliation, like at community days and things like that. We have it in school 2 days a week. They can meet with the priest and do a confession. And that was not something we had in place 5 or 6 years ago.
Wow.
The demand perhaps wasn't as high, but now these guys, it's part of their existence. So we're seeing a lot deeper spirituality. I think it's always been there, but now the kids are taking the lead on some of this in a new, refreshing way.
That's
so
great
it's been a lot of
see.
fun.
Yeah, and great for Father John Pulse and those
Yes,
guys now
absolutely.
that they're back. The Jesuits returned to Jesuit Dallas for the first time in a little bit, a couple years ago, and it's great to have their presence, I know, for the guys.
Yeah, so Father Sylvester Tan, who, of course, is the superior of the Jesuit community here in Dallas, and is very active also on our Jesuit Board of Trustees. Well, Tom, it's just always so great to visit with you. I always say that when you and I talk, I've known you for a number of years. I was on the Principal Search Committee.
That's right. I owe you a debt of gratitude here, Tom. I
was on the Principal Search Committee that was formed and chaired by Kevin's dad,
by
Jack Fitzsimmons, who asked me to be on that. And, of course, you were the leading internal candidate, but there were some great external candidates as well. And, you were the one that was ultimately selected by Mike Ursing, our president. But yet, yes, our committee did recommend you. But, of course, the final decision was the president's. And, as you look back and think about these 15 years and just how quickly they've gone by, is it everything that you kind of thought it was going to be back then, or has it been even better? Has it been more challenging? What words would you use to describe kind of these last 15 years as you think about what you expected back then to what it's been?
Yeah. It's funny because minutes before I walked in this booth, I was talking to Clay Lacey, who's a graduate class of 98, and he asked me a very similar question. And what I told him is, I still get up and can't wait to come to work each morning. And as long as I feel that, I know I'm where I belong. And I have not been bored in almost 30 years. There's something all the time. This place is full of energy, and it just rubs off on you.
Hey, I'm going to give Kevin the last question, but I'm going to ask you one more of my own. When you were a student, rumor has it you were a model student, never got in trouble. Is that all true?
It's true-ish. Yeah, it's some truth in that statement.
And back when you were in school, was Mike Ursing the in charge of discipline, or was it somebody else?
He was we called him the disciplinarian.
The disciplinarian.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And we all love Mike Ursing.
And
say obviously he's a great leader and a great person, but what I understand, back in those days, he could be quite intimidating when the role required it.
Yes, I don't know. You don't want to see him angry. You remember the Incredible Hulk, But the thing about Mike is his eyes could look through you if he was, if he was locked in, you couldn't look away, but you wanted to look away.
Yeah, well, of course, I know you never had to experience that because you were always towing the line. Hey, Kevin, why don't you go with the last question for Tom?
Our friend Mike Ursing, maybe a little softer, I think,
these
days than he was back then.
But that's what the role required.
The role he was very good at it, but he's also very good at this, and I think probably this is an even better fit for him for where he's taken the school in the last 30 years.
All right, we'll get you out of here on a fun one, Tom.
All right.
My brother Johnny's texting me.
Hey, Johnny.
He was your first freshman English class
first
at Jesuit.
year. Yes, sir.
Said had us read books like Ender's Game and The Power of One. My brother notes the only books he read in high school. So I guess he didn't like the rest of them that year. As an English teacher, did you have a favorite book that you liked to teach, and what was it and why?
Yeah. Well, so I have some great memories of teaching Beowulf. I taught that to juniors, and they would just run with it. It was like when you really got into what it was a brotherhood. It was a book about a fight. The guys, once they got past the dialect, the Old English, they could get into the story.
Yep.
And you could do a whole lot with it. It was a lot of fun.
Well, great teacher, great principal. Great to be with our friend Tom Garrison.
So great to be with you, Tom.
Honored
Thank
to
you
be
for
with you
joining
guys.
up. And you're welcome to stay in the booth with us. And let me ask you a question, because this has been kind of on everyone's mind tonight. Do you think I'm a good MC?
Oh my God, Tom! I was thinking it's like I think John Schmeltz might have had to cover for you one year.
He
and
did.
I think he was like really worried because he knew he had to live up to you.
I was worried about I was going to be Wally Pipp and he was going to be Lou Gehrig.
Yeah,
I was never going to get it back. He's very good as well. Of course, John Schmeltz, what a wonderful man. Retired American Airlines captain and the voice of Ranger Stadium
and substitute teacher at Jesuit.
And substitute teacher,
yes, all right.
and a great guy. Yeah. So, Tom, thank you for coming by.
Thank you, Tom.
All right,
Kevin. Great to see you, sir.
It's an honor, man.
Kevin, why don't you reset where we are in the game, and then we'll get Chris Martinez set up. Why don't you kind of give where we are in the game, kind of reset the scene for us?
Absolutely. Well, great to have our friend Tom Garrison, principal of Jesuit, with us. We're winding down halftime here, about 6 minutes left to go. For those of you that are just joining us, it's Lake Highlands 42, Jesuit 21. It's muted. So we got Lake Highlands 42, Jesuit 21, about 5 minutes to go in the second in the halftime here before we get going for the third quarter. Lake Highlands will receive the first kickoff. We'll bring it back here to our friend Chris Martinez for some first half stats in just a minute. Maybe we'll take a quick break here if we can, and then we'll bring it back here for some stats. Tom, how's that sound?
Okay, sounds good, Kevin. So you're listening to Jesuit Ranger football on the Ranger Sports Network and Tradio. 42-21 Lake Highlands. Back in a minute.
Clubs and activities here, the possibilities are endless. I honestly don't know of anywhere else where I could be an innovator, an athlete, and a leader while pursuing rigorous academics and forming lifelong friendships. There's truly something for everyone.
Welcome back, everybody. As we mentioned, it's Tom Walsh, Kevin Fitzsimmons, the great Babe Laughenberg, and the ever-infamous, the most celebrated statistician in all of sports, Chris Martinez, class of 78. Welcome, Chris, to the broadcast. Why don't you give us some first half stats? Thanks, Chris.
Okay, thanks, Kevin. I don't know about saying the class of 78. That sounds so old. They say stats can tell a story, and sometimes they can fool you. Time of possession, Jesuit dominating in time of possession, 16 minutes to 7 minutes for Lake Highlands. Total offense, Jesuit had 224 yards of total offense, 305 for Lake Highlands. Hey, we're probably in there. Jesuit only punted once in that half. Say, then they're really in this game.
We tried to punt 2 more times, and
yes,
that didn't work out.
Exactly. The first 2 possessions for Lake Highlands on the Jesuit 30-yard line, 4 plays, touchdown, and then another muff punt. They start at the 11-yard line. The average starting field position for Lake Highlands is on the Jesuit 48-yard line today.
The average.
So the average starting field position, yeah. Anyway, for individual stats, Lake Highlands Christian Rhodes, 109 yards on 6 carries, including that 63-yard touchdown run. He's averaging 18 yards per carry. Chuck Smith, the quarterback, 13 completions, 190 yards, 5 touchdown passes, and he definitely spreads it around. There's 8 guys that he has thrown balls to. Only 2 of them have more than 1 catch.
Wow.
Lloyd Wyatt for 5, Trey Willis for 6, Conrad Ince, 2 catches for 20 yards, including a 7-yard touchdown. Franklin Evans only caught 2 balls, but both for touchdowns, 37 yards and 4 yards. Olar Asarolo, 17-yard catch. Christian Rhodes, a 52-yard touchdown catch. Kobe Moreland caught 1 ball, and Mason Spangler caught 4 passes, and including that 6-yard touchdown pass. So total offense today, third downs. Lake Highlands has only had 3 third down opportunities, and they've converted every one of them. Jesuit 1 for 7 on third downs, 2 for 4 on fourth downs, really 2 for 2, but the 2 muff punts count as a fourth down, so I don't really count that as the conversion. Jesuit only 36 yards of rushing, again, not counting the 2 muff punts, because in the statistical book, those count as rushing yards, and then you get into negative stuff. But so 36 positive yards, 188 yards through the air, 190 yards for Lake Highlands in the air, 115 yards on the ground, 305 yards. But penalties, Jesuit 0 penalties in the first half. Lake Highlands 4 penalties for 50 yards. So holding him for 305 yards, that kind of sounds like we're in the game, but the scoreboard says something else. And when they have 6 possessions and have touchdowns on all 6 possessions, that hurts. 4 play drive touchdown, 2 play drive touchdown, 1 play drive touchdown, 2 play drive touchdown, 5 play drive touchdown, and then the last one of the half was an 11 play drive for a touchdown.
Hey, Chris, tell us about the yardage on each of those touchdown drives, though. Like one was.
Oh yeah, the very first one was a 30-yard drive.
Yeah, second one
was 11-yard drive.
The third one was like 1 play. That was a pretty long one, wasn't it?
1 play, 63 yards. The 2-play drive was 52 yards. The 5-play drive was 60 yards. And the last drive, they started to 28. The worst starting field position was that very last one, but they still drove the field for a 72-yard drive in 11 plays to score. So 42-21, Lake Highlands on top.
And we talked about third downs too, Chris, and you said Jesuits what, 1 of 7?
1 of 7.
Yeah.
And they came in at like 36, 38% on their third down conversion, so that's obviously getting worse now.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you very much, Chris Martinez. Let's get the headset back to Babe Laughenberg. Babe, I know you enjoyed the interview with Tom Garrison, our Jesuit principal. And what year did Joe Willie, your oldest son, graduate from Jesuit? Do you remember the exact year? It was roughly about 2015 or 2016, I think, wasn't it?
2014.
2014. I think 2014.
I think Joe Willie and I were at school together for 1 year.
Oh, okay.
I was 2011. I think Joe Willie was a freshman that year.
I think he's 2014.
2014.
Right. I heard it was so funny because I was talking to a writer over here next door, and I heard your interview with
Tom Garrison.
Tom just kind of out of one ear there, but I heard the word disciplinarian. And I also went to a Catholic high school, and we had a disciplinarian, and I told him it just brought back a lot of bad memories, going down to do public schools have disciplinarians? I don't think
that's a good question.
I don't think they do.
Where did you go, babe? We talked about Southern California. Was it Mater Dei?
Crespi High School.
Crespi, okay.
Yep.
Mater Dei is the big famous
Mater
one out
Dei,
there, too.
Servite.
Football, yeah.
Matter of fact, Bryce Young, who the Cowboys will face Sunday, plays for Carolina. He went to Servite High School.
There you go.
That's down south a little bit, but
that's where my friend Michael Preisler went from Servite.
He's a Servite guy.
Yeah, were they big rivals? Servite?
They were in something called the Angelus League. I don't know if that's still true. We were in the Del Rey League, so we never really played them. But we played St. John Bosco, who's down with Power. They were in our league. But by the way, I know you were asking me earlier. Yeah, Crespi High School is 6-0.
6-0.
Pending the outcome of tonight's game.
All right.
I'm talking with Babe
Were you asking me? No, you weren't. But I thought
talking with Babe Laughenberg, our broadcast partner. He was here for the Highland Park game. He's back for the Lake Highlands game. If we played that school in Irving called the Highlands, I'm sure you'd come back for the third game. But let me ask you, Babe. You told this story at the Highland Park game, and for anybody that missed, it's one of my all-time favorite stories. I
hope I remember it.
But please tell the story about Jason Garrett going to your old high school and just kind of talk us about through that one. It's one of my favorites.
Well, so he goes out to, and he's always, kidded me about Crespi High School and the statue and of me, which of course I don't have a statue. But so anyway, he goes out there to interview Sean McVay from the Rams. This was in the summer. And
so this past summer?
Or no, excuse me. I guess it was in the spring of last year.
Okay.
So, but anyway, he goes in and got to interview Sean McVay and go to the Rams practice facility and do all that stuff. And so my high school, Crespi High School, is right off the 101 if you've ever been out to Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. It's about a mile off the freeway. So anyway, he stops in. He goes, to his credit, to go see my high school. And of course,
for those listening, Jason Garrett's one of Babe Laughenberg's best friends.
Oh yeah. So anyway, he goes and it's a school day. So here's this
55-year-old man walking around campus that no one knows. No one knows who he. So he goes in to look at the weight room, and two coaches are there, and they're like, can we help you with something? Like, and then they realize, oh God, it's Jason. He said, Jason Garrett. Blah, blah. Of course, they knew who he was, and so he goes around. So I always kid him. I went back this past summer, Cowboys camp, Oxnard. I'm driving back to the airport, but I stop into my high school. Again, it's right off the 101. So if you're driving from Oxnard down to LAX, it's basically on your way. So I stop in, and the coaches were there, and they come over, and they asked me to talk to the team after their practice. They happened to be practicing, and I said, oh, sure, I'd love to. So I do, and so I kid Jason. That's the difference between you and me. You showed up, and they were calling security. Yeah. They were getting a SWAT team out to have you removed. I show up, and I'm talking to a bunch of kids.
That's great. No, that's so great. He was looking for your statue.
He was. I told him it was under repair. So many people had touched the right arm. You know how bronze will tarnish?
Yes.
So many people gone up and rubbed the right arm for good luck that it was kind of in for repair.
And one more quick story that you told in the Lake Highlands game. How many Laughenberg brothers were quarterback for Crespi High School?
3 of us.
Yep.
Actually, 4 went there. The oldest was a defensive back.
Okay.
And then my brother older than me was 2 years the quarterback. And then when he left, so I was a sophomore when he was a senior. And I played, sophomore. We actually had a sophomore team.
Right.
And anyway, then he left, and I took over for 2 years. And then my younger brother, Johnny, he's 5 years younger, but he came, 2-3 years after I was gone, and then he quarterbacked there. So
that's kind of cool. So you had all the different Laughenberg brothers, and we see that here at Jesuit, Kevin, right?
That's right.
Wambacher, right? We saw his brother play here.
Magoo,
the 2 kickers.
Absolutely.
I mean, so many young men. But, I'm waiting for the day when some of these kids from the class of 1998, during my first season calling Jesuit football on the radio, when their kids show up. Right? I haven't had that happen quite yet.
Not too far away.
That's not too far away. So let's reset where we are. Tom Walsh, Kevin Fitzsimmons, Babe Laughenberg. It's 42-21. Lake Highlands, they are as advertised. Jesuit has been scrappy, but Lake Highlands has been virtually unstoppable. 42-21, they've had the ball 6 times. They've scored 6 touchdowns. So the Ranger defense, let's see if they can make some halftime adjustments. What do you think, Babe? You think halftime adjustments, are those overrated, or are those really things that happen? Onside kick, ball bounce, and the Rangers not able to bring it in. That was a nice onside kick.
It took that 1-2 and then took the high bounce on the 3rd, and Jesuit almost got under that.
They certainly did. So what do you think about the whole notion of halftime adjustments, Babe? I mean, you have 30 minutes in high school, so maybe
high school's a little different.
Yeah, in high school you actually can probably do it, right? In the pros, you go in, you go to the restroom, you come back out. It's like 15 minutes.
It's 15. Yeah, you have time to go in, maybe use the men's room, get a banana. Your coaches meet, and then they come out. They talk to you for about 2 minutes. But I always say too, at least in the NFL, and it's true probably at all levels. But if you're waiting to halftime to make your adjustments, you're way too late. They're making them on the sideline, every play, every series.
And to Franklin Evans Jr., the 6'2", 185-pound junior, he's had 2 catches tonight, Babe, as you said, Kevin, and two touchdowns.
That's right. Babe said that earlier. Chris said that at halftime as well. He's a running back, but he's got those 2 catches for touchdowns. Obviously explosive. The difference obviously between the NFL game guys as well is they got the headsets, they got the coaches calling down, all the iPads. I mean, so it's much easier for them to make those in-game adjustments than it is for the guys in high school. Obviously down here, I know we talked to Coach Hickman at the beginning of the year that, those things haven't quite made their way all the way down to the high school game yet, but who knows, probably a couple more years and they will.
Yeah, a little expensive.
2nd down 6 for Lake Highlands at the first drive of the second half. Handoff again, Franklin Evans Jr. He'll have a big hole. He's into the 3rd level, if you will, down to the Ranger 30. I'm not sure there is a 3rd level, but if there was, he was there. Cable Weissmuller made the tackle, but it's going to be 1st down Lake Highlands. So just 2 kind of off-tackle runs there, Babe, and 2 big gains by Evans.
Boy, and Lake Highlands can throw 2 backs at you. Most teams, if you got 1 good back, you're thrilled. Franklin Evans, Christian Rhodes, both those guys can carry the rock.
2004, Jesuits' first year in the UIL. They played Lake Highlands for the district championship over at what they call the Boneyard. Wildcat Ram Stadium. Jesuit won it in double overtime to win their first district championship, and it's been a heck of a rivalry ever since. Back to pass to Smith. Great protection. He'll, again, just layer it out there. Beautiful throw. Nice catch inside the 12-yard line. That's Weissmuller brings him down, but not before Osa Roller brings it in. And, boy, he just has great touch.
Yeah, it does.
I mean,
Really
this kid's
does.
got to be playing on Saturday next year.
Well, he's going to play somewhere. I don't know where.
I
I know he'd like to play at Boise State, and I think they're actually following him.
Well, I mean, I got to tell you, he doesn't have the height that sometimes say
Right.
are the measurables, but, there was a guy named Drew Brees didn't either. He was 5'11" and a half. And,
Did you see the kid? You see the kid at Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
Diego
Pavia. Yeah, Pavia.
What's he? 5'11"?
5'11". I mean, some guys. This kid's just a player.
We heard a Roll Tide back there.
He goes into the end zone. And nice defensive play, knocked away. Andres Vaughn went up and knocked it away, Kevin, and that was a big play because, again, Chuck Smith laid it out there beautifully.
Good coverage that time. I tell you what, guys, wherever Chuck Smith goes to play, he hopes he has as good a protection as he's had tonight because
Right.
the offensive line has done him a lot of service. He's had a lot of daylight back there to make the throws he wants. This time, though, as you see on the replay, great job by Van to get his hand up there. No contact, no call by the referee, and it's second down, Lake Highlands.
Yeah, second down 10. They can make a first down to the Jesuit 2-yard line. Jesuit goes 5-man front, showing blitz, handoff, right side, and probably the best job they've done tonight.
Just going to say.
And really getting Christian Rhodes down for very little gain. His shortest gain by far, only a couple that'll bring up 3rd down and 8. This may be the longest 3rd down they've had tonight, Chris, I think, on 3rd and 8. Yeah, Chris confirms it. As Gabriel James, the linebacker, came up. So big play here, Babe. But with this explosive offense, I wonder if they're thinking 4 downs because they just are so confident in what they can do.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate to say this. I don't know how their kicker is, but, I'll take my 3 points if you don't.
Yeah, I think he looks good on those extra points. I think he's got plenty of range from here. There's the snap. Smith back to pass, fires it, incomplete. Little out route, deep throw, Jack Beret. He was on the left hash, throwing it all the way across the field to the right. That's a long throw, isn't it, babe?
Long throw. It's one of those balls where I talked about the 2 and 2 to the back end of the end zone on the fade. That's kind of where you want it, 2 and 2 to the pylon up front. You just lay it out there, let your receiver go get it. Chuck Smith might have just let that one go just a shade early.
Yeah, receiver wasn't quite out of the break before that ball was out, babe.
So, the field goal will be from the 16-yard line, a 26-yard field goal just inside the left hash. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. It's perfect. And the Rangers defense does hold as Andrew Wilson brings it down through the uprights to make it 45-21. Hey, guys, I want to say something. I've done this for 28 years. And I think that I was upset on the non-holding call against the Jesuit defender on that Bass big play, but I think I was out of line. The official obviously has a much better view. And, I'm not saying that he intentionally didn't call it. He probably just missed it. But I think I was a little out of line. And I want to apologize. It's not something I like to do. Obviously, I'm rooting for the Jesuit Rangers. But these officials have a hard job. I respect them. And I just felt compelled to say it. No one told me to say it. But I wanted to say it myself because it's not my style to normally criticize the officials. And if the official comes back and watches it on YouTube, I want to say, sir, I am sorry. You guys have a much harder job. It's easy up here, as Babe Laughenberg likes to say, from 200 feet away to make the calls. But my apologies, and I respect what they do.
Well, I'm going to just tell you something, Tom. I actually spoke to the referee. I think I told you this.
Before the game.
Before the game. We had a nice little chat.
And he
knew
said,
who
tell
I
Walsh
was
to be quiet, right?
Well, no. And so after the game, I'm going to just say, hey, I just want you to know, my partner up there, Tom Walsh, he thought it was a bad call, but he wants to apologize. It really wasn't. You guys have a tough job. But then I'm going to go to Brandon Hickman, and I'm going to say, hey, Tom said, I don't know what kind of bull that was, but that was brutal.
No.
I do not want to tell Brandon Hickman that you're apologizing for the non-holding call.
My apology is sincere. So the ball goes into the end zone. Andres Van lets it roll. And that play was 7 yards, 7 plays, 49 yards, 2:27 comes off the clock. The 26-yard Wilson field goal makes it 45-21. All right, now look, we got an uphill battle, but these Rangers, we know this, Kevin, they will not stop competing. Right? I mean, these guys will keep fighting to the end.
Nope, and we've seen it all season. I think get down in some games. This is the time now where your big players start to to shine. I think you look at Shane Parker, you look for Cade Kirby. Joseph Konings has had a couple of great catches across the middle. Let's see what this offense does now.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. One wide receiver left, two to the right. Play action. Here comes the rush. And just nowhere to go but get rid of it. He was under duress, was Beck Berry. And Theriot, the linebacker, has just been everywhere tonight defensively for Lake Highlands.
You know, and that's one of the big changes at all levels of football.
Right.
I mean, once upon a time, you could not just throw the ball away. You couldn't throw it in, once you're out of the pocket now, we all know you can throw it into the stands or wherever you want. You took a sack. I mean, and you took a beating, too. Now you don't get hit as much, and obviously you don't have a loss of yardage of a sack.
2nd and 10. Play action. Back to pass, Barry. High throw looking for Konings. They've had that a couple of times tonight, including on that big 4th down. Lloyd Wyatt has been playing very tough man-to-man coverage on Konings all night. He's the kind of the guy that gets that receiver coming over the middle, babe, and that's going to be 3rd down and 10, and you're down 45-21. I mean, early in the 3rd, but this is a big play.
Yeah, and again, Coach Hickman, I'm sure we'll talk about it after the game, but just they've been in 3rd and long so many times. I just can't remember them being 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3.
No.
This 3rd and 10 has just been the order of the day for the Jesuit offense.
3rd down 10.
And let me say, that's a tough way to make a living.
2 receivers left, 1 right. There's the snap. Back to pass, Barry. And the receiver never knew it was in the air. He was looking for Konings, but he was double coverage, and he never saw it. Is McRoy. McRoy was on the coverage, one of those defenders, and Jesuit's going to have to punt it away on 4th down 10. And I mean, guys, I'm not proclaiming Lake Highlands is going to win the state championship, because in 6A football in the state of Texas, you've got some absolute beasts out there. But these guys are not going to be a one and done. I mean, great Kevin. I mean, these guys look very tough. They're well coached. They're fast, they're physical, they tackle well, and they're explosive on offense.
Yeah, we've talked about it all night. I think in all 3 phases of the game, really strong. Oh, look at Cooper Magoo's going to take this around the left side, Tom. Another fake punt.
A second fake punt of the night, and the Jesuit Rangers. You're talking about manufacturing points, babe, Laughenberg.
I don't know. Was that a designed fake punt?
It was.
It looked like he was going to kick it to me.
It was going. I think
right
it was
here.
Designed. Watch.
Because they had a man coming free. I think he just pulled it down because he doesn't have blockers in front of him.
I guess guess what? I was wrong again.
I think he just that punt was going to get blocked.
That was a great play by Magoo. To the 44-yard line, the Jesuit Rangers. Back to pass, Barry. He will fire it. Ball is caught. Nice throw indeed. That was to Caden Profit. Lloyd Wyatt was there. Babe, how hard of a throw is that? I mean, you're rolling right.
For
you're
me,
under duress.
or for the average quarterback?
For the average quarterback.
Oh, it's really hard.
Yeah.
For me, I'm kidding. No, that was a good throw. Really good throw.
Shane Parker will get taken down for a loss back to the 48-yard line. They were clearly watching out for number 7. They were spying him tonight. Juan Odriz, the defensive lineman, made the tackle.
Cooper Magoo is the leading rusher for Jesuit.
Jesuits, Cooper Magoo, the leading ball carrier tonight with that big. How many did he run that for? 19 yards. He's averaging 19 yards a carry, babe.
I love it. Give him the ball more.
8:08 to go, 3rd quarter. If you're just joining us, Tom Walsh with Babe Laughenberg and Kevin Fitzsimmons. The Jesuit Rangers trail 45-21. There's the snap. And looks to me that Profit was cutting in and Beck Berry was throwing out. He got a little bit crisscrossed there, Kevin, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 12 for Jesuit. But Profit had that nice catch on the sideline just a moment ago.
Yeah, good to see his number and his name called. Just a couple of times so far tonight where we've seen Berry and the receivers a little out of sync. Another one of those that time just doesn't quite get into the receiver's area where Profit was, but it was a good throw. Just missed him by a little bit, and as Babe just said, it's another 3rd and long.
And remember, Profit also made that beautiful 2-point conversion where he was able to do a little toe tap to bring it in on a very difficult catch when the Jesuit Rangers draw it within 21-14. So 3rd down 12, Barry. He's under pressure, rolling right, looking to tuck it and run, and he's going to get thrown out of bounds short of a 1st down.
Well, we had this earlier in tonight's game. Ball's on the other side of the 50. It's at the 45.
I mean, Brandon Hickman, Rangers head coach, he's like, just give me a reason to go for it. Just get it to 4th and 5 here. And it's going to be 4th and 11.
Well, they've already picked up one 4th and 12 tonight.
Yeah, offense staying on the field.
Yeah, I think that you're down 45-21.
Yeah, but, boy, you just like to shorten that a little.
Yeah.
You didn't need to get it all on the 3rd down, but you wanted to make it manageable.
Aiden Little.
The play clock's going down.
Was the man that made that last tackle. Only 8 seconds on the play clock. Jesuit's going to have to go. You got single coverage on the left side potentially for Kirby. Now you're going to put Shane Parker to the left side. Back to pass. Here comes the rush. Barry's going to tuck it and run. Can he get out around the corner? He cannot. He'll be taken down short of a first down near the 40-yard line. Chris Theria, defensive MVP tonight for Lake Highlands. I mean, we've called his name, seems like every other play. He's so good with lateral pursuit, and the Lake Highlands offense comes back on the field.
All right, Tom, you'll like to hear this. Steve Fimian, the great Steve Fimian.
Oh, the great Steve Fimian.
Father of the great Joe Fimian, who was a friend of my Luke's, still is. But he was right in front of us here. I was trying to get his attention, knocking on the window, and he never turned. He went home, but he's watching us now.
Oh, that's so great. Well,
I'd rather him be there watching us than here and not listening.
And not acknowledging your taps on the window.
Yes.
1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Lake Highlands, high snap. Back to pass. Here comes the Ranger rush, and incomplete. And that was the best Ranger rush that we've had tonight, other than that time Tanner Krug came up with the almost sack. But
the high snap kind of threw off the timing.
It was not just a high snap. It was kind of a slow snap. Kind of came back there. I wonder if they've got a new center in the game. But great to hear from Steve Fimian. It's another guy that I know that you know that texted you but did not text me, babe.
Yeah, once I'm here, Tom, you might as well just shut your phone off because,
Only for one more game, though, Tom. So maybe we'll only keep the phone calls coming, the texts coming for another few hours.
2nd down and 10. There's a snap. Handoff, Christian Rhodes. Nothing doing. Good job by the Jesuit defense. Did you notice, babe, have you noticed that every time right before the ball is snapped, Chuck Smith, the quarterback, will kind of do a little pigeon hop, if you will. Watch him when he's in the shotgun.
You're picking up on that.
Wait, watch this. Well, next time we see Tanner Krug was doing to make the play. It'll be 3rd down and 8. But watch him right before the ball is snapped. He does a little bit of a kind of a crow hop or I called it a pigeon hop. I'm not sure what that is. A crow hop or a stutter step. Watch him.
Shuffles his feet a little bit.
Shuffle. I've seen it several times.
I'm gonna watch it.
All right, come on, come through for me, Chuck. 3rd down and 10. There we go. See it? Back to pass. He'll fire it out to the right side, and it's going to be caught. I mean, he's just got such great touch. I mean, it's right between two Jesuit defenders. Wambacher was there, but I mean, that's just a big-time throw, folks. I mean, give credit to Lake Highlands.
From the left hash to the far side of the field, too. I mean, that's not an easy one to make, right, babe?
No, and again, we talk about that layering throw over the underneath coverage and before the safety or the corner, whoever it is out there, and he did a nice job again. He's about 3 or 4 of those throws.
Well, watch it with his
The little hop step?
No, what's the little hop step? Let's see it here. Nope. Good job by the Jesuit. Really gashing him inside tonight, but McGoldrick made that play. But the Rangers defense has done a much better job here in the second half on the inside runs.
They really have. Talk about halftime adjustments. Maybe they made one.
2nd down, 6. But what a treat it is to watch a quarterback like Chuck Smith, 6'1", 205 pounds, a senior, interested in Boise State. And, of course, what a great program they have up there. They played at Notre Dame last year. Notre Dame won for the first time in their green jerseys in like 20 years last week. Jason Garrett, our friend on the call.
Yeah.
Had a little extra luck there. I was up there for that game, Tom.
Oh, nice. And they swing it out to Willis, and a good job by the Ranger defense to swarm. Willis made the catch and was immediately hit by McGoldrick. And that'll bring up no gain. They'll bring up 3rd down and about 6 or 7. Yeah, great job by you, Kevin, to get that. How was that experience last week here? And Chris Ackles, our broadcast partner over the Notre Dame Stadium.
Well, you've been to many Notre Dame games, Tom. It's a great atmosphere up there in that stadium, and a little bit of a funky game. There was a lot of penalties, over 200 yards of penalties between both teams. So it's a little bit choppy, but the Irish get it done, and a good win against the Boise State Broncos is a fun game, fun atmosphere.
Absolutely. So big 3rd down here for the Jesuit defense. Maybe 4-down territory. Smith back to pass. Good protection. Fires it. In between 4 blue jerseys. I mean, just an outstanding throw again, folks. It's just we're not doing it justice. Jack Beret made the tackle, but there's 4 blue jerseys, and he just zipped it right in there, babe.
Boy, I think that's the first time they've ran that deep curl. Everything has kind of been on the outside, corners, outs, and this time he runs about a 15-yard curl inside, and, yeah, to your point, Tom, he just zipped that ball. Chuck Smith had a lot on that one.
Yeah, he did.
We talked about all that layering, nice touch, soft. This one he just came back and said, I'm going to throw this as hard as I possibly can.
He can do it all.
He can do it all indeed. First down. There's the snap. Handoff. Right side. Christian Rhodes. Gained of a couple. Hey, by the way, Kevin, a great friend of your parents and myself, and I'm sure you as well. Chuck, Charlie, and Fran Winnicate's listening in and watching tonight.
Yeah, you know what? They texted me earlier. I meant to tell you, Tom. I forgot to tell you.
Hey, it's the first people I know that have texted me and not Babe Laughenberg. So thank you, Chuck and Fran and Charlie. So second down 8 at the 17-yard line of Jesuit. There's the snap. Chuck Smith rolling left, fires into the end zone, incomplete. I mean, good coverage by Andres Van, but that throw was right there. I mean, and he's running left, and he's a right-hander, and what a throw, babe. Talk about how hard this is.
Yeah, the whole key here is to just get your shoulders turned. You know, get that right shoulder back, which he does. See how he pulled that right shoulder back?
And look at the throw. I mean, the receiver
he gave him a chance.
It was great coverage, but the throw was perfect.
Joe Willie taught him that move, by the way. Yeah. We worked on it. We worked on it a lot.
Joe Willie Laughenberg.
And it's a misnomer. A right-handed quarterback can't throw left. It's easier to the right, but you can still throw it.
As long as you can turn that shoulder, right?
Yep.
That's the key. Third down. Chuck Smith keeps it, and he'll be brought down short of a first down. It'll bring up fourth down at about 5. And I wonder if they'll work a little bit on the field goal here at 4th and 5 at the Ranger 14. Jackson Gare made the tackle.
Looks like the offense is going to stay out on the field for Lake Highlands. Just 3 points last time down the field. They want more.
Well, they've been used to some big scores. They're up 45-21, 4th and 5 from the Ranger 14 from the right hash. Rhodes is in the backfield. They're going to try to maybe draw the Rangers off sides. 8 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, they called timeout.
They'll call the timeout and talk about it.
Coach Campbell, their head coach over there, they're trying to get him to jump. Didn't. So they take a timeout. Hey, so.
Yeah, please.
We rolling?
We're rolling.
We're going. I'm so used to commercial.
Yeah.
I'm ready to read something. Go to break. And
hey,
it's funny. I forget who the player was, but it was a rookie this year. Might have been Tyler Booker.
Tyler Booker from Alabama.
And
Alabama, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
12th pick in the draft. I think it was him. But anyway, he said he wasn't used to the TV timeouts that you have in the NFL and how long they are. And when you're out there as a player, you're ready to go. And they say, no, the official just holds you, and it goes on for. He said, man, I wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
And it's not like Alabama never played on television.
Right. Exactly.
but it's a different deal.
So, Kevin, I think we got our third quarter sponsor.
We'll give a quick shout out to our third quarter sponsor, Complete Land Sculpture. Tonight's third quarter brought to you in part by Complete Land Sculpture, creating beautiful outdoor spaces for over 40 years. From initial design, construction of pools and structures, planting installation to year-round maintenance, Complete Land Sculpture is proud to keep North Texas looking its best. We're honored to be longtime supporters of Jesuit athletics and the Jesuit community. Contact Complete Land Sculpture at 214-949-4689 for all your landscaping needs. Go Rangers.
All right, 4th down and 5 from the 14-yard line. On the right side, one single receiver, 3 left. Rhodes is in the backfield with Smith. Low snap. He's rolling left. Here comes the Rangers rush. He's open. Caught. 5-yard line. First down. What another beautiful throw by Chuck Smith. Ben Phillips made the tackle, but Willis brought it in. He has been clutch on some 3rd and 4th downs tonight.
Yeah, this time Chuck Smith had to navigate a little pass rush. The last time he had a nice clean view of it all. This time he kind of has to pull up there, but does a nice job of getting the football out.
So it was a good route scheme that time. We couldn't see it on the replay, but had 3 guys out there, went too long, and then Willis was right open on that little shallow out route for the first down.
First and goal from the 5-yard line. Rhodes gets the carry, and he'll get to about the 2-yard line, maybe the 2.5. It'll bring up second down goal.
You know, and Rhodes, he looks like a lean kind of guy, but he sure runs with some power.
He
right?
really does.
And
Through the hole.
Kind of an upright runner. Again, I think you called it, Eric Dickerson. I mean, now, I don't want people to then text me and say, oh, what are you saying? He's Eric Dickerson? I said, no. He just kind of runs like him.
He runs like him, but, I mean, he's got a lot of the attributes, right? He's tall.
Got that upright.
He runs upright, and he's fast. I mean, he is explosive. I mean, when Dickerson got into the secondary, you were just not used to a 6'3" guy running around away from everybody.
Sealy, Texas, is that correct?
I don't remember,
I think he's from Sealy.
but he was absolutely unbelievable. Handoff, left side, Rhodes will go in for the score. Evans, on that carry. So that'll make it 51. 51-21.
Well, we talked about it all night, that dual running back threat. Those guys were 3rd and 4th in the district. I think they'll probably be 1 and 2 at the end of the night. That time it's Evans. Seems like every time he touches the ball, he's going into the end zone. We talked about his 2 catches for touchdowns in the first half. That time it's a run. Caps off this drive for the Lake Highlands Wildcats.
All right, well, now I think, folks, I mean, the Lake Highlands obviously is they are rolling. We're impressed. We give them all kinds of props as the extra point is up and good, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do in the playoffs. I'd heard that they were going to be tough, and, last year, very good, but they have taken another step forward.
All right, so, Tom, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir, I'm available.
You've been doing this a long time.
28 years.
Who is the best player? We'll take all Jesuit players out of this.
Okay.
Who is the best player that you have seen in person where you just said, oh, my goodness?
Well, that's a really good.
You can give me 2 or 3.
Yeah, let me think about that for a moment. Of course, wow.
I can give you a couple.
Give me a couple
that I saw.
Well, I think I'm trying to go over 28 years. So go ahead and give me a couple. Now, like for example, I'm not saying he's the best, but he was darn good. Haynes King, who of course playing for Georgia Tech right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he was incredible as a quarterback. Garrett Nussmeyer.
And where did he play? Where did Haynes King play?
Haynes King played at Longview. Played for his dad, who was the head coach, had a state championship, and then Jesuit upset them his senior year when they were number 2 in the state. But Garrett Nussmeyer, starting quarterback for LSU. We saw him play. I think he was at Flower Mound Marcus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. His little brother's there right now.
So those were a couple guys kind of recently, but I'll give it some more thought. You can maybe give me your thoughts as the kickoff will be taken at the 8-yard line. Andres Mann, nice return outside the 30-yard line to about the 31-yard line. But who are you thinking about, Babe, as you're thinking back?
Well, I didn't see a ton of high school football here. I mean, I watched, obviously, when my sons were playing. But I remember Matthew Stafford. You read about him. You heard this guy's great. And so I'm going to go out. I'm going to go watch this guy. And not knowing him or the family or anything, but I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's pretty good.
I saw him play as well. I mean,
Kyler Murray, I went up to watch him play when he was at Allen. Man among boys. Even though he obviously doesn't have the size, but I just like, this kid's unbelievable.
Well, I'll tell you who I saw. We went down to Lake Travis and saw Garrett Wilson, who played last week against the Cowboys.
Oh.
I mean, he was incredible.
Yeah.
Parker goes in motion. And they're looking for Parker. Ball goes incomplete. Parker was cutting it up, and he was throwing it out. So
it is fun when you see those kids. So I mean, they're. I never saw Adrian Peterson play in person, but you watch some of the tape, and it's just like,
oh yeah,
what are you supposed to do?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
They talk about a guy like Derrick Henry playing high school football. They gave the ball to him 50 times a game when he was in high school as a running back. They just, Derrick Henry just doing everything for that high school team. And then, of course, the next year he's running for Alabama. So
2nd and 10, and Beck Berry is sacked behind the line of scrimmage by Jeremiah Jones.
So how would you like to be a high school kid? 150, 160-pound defensive back, and here comes Derrick Henry, who I'm sure was 230 at the time.
Well,
I probably ran 4 or 5.
It's funny y'all are talking about Derrick Henry because Derrick Henry. I was just read an article in the last 24 to 48 hours where Nick Saban was talking about that they were getting on Derrick Henry for not making some kind of a block or something in practice. Derrick Henry said, "Hey, coach, no one taught me that. When I was in high school, they just gave me the ball and told me to run."
Right.
He didn't know how to pass block. He didn't know how.
And they said he became quite a good one. So 3rd down and long. Ball is thrown to Lindley, trying to get some blocks, and he'll get taken down at about the 34-yard line by ability.
And can I tell you guys something?
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't be disrespectful to Nick Saban, right? One of
Right.
the great coaches of all
Great, of
time.
course.
7 national championships, all that. But I would say, Coach, I don't want to butt in here, but I really don't want him blocking. I want him carrying.
Right.
See those other 10 guys that are in front of him?
They can
Have them block and have him run. What do you think Saban would say?
They did that plenty of times
Yeah.
too. I think he'd say they did that just enough to win a national championship with Derrick Henry.
Yeah, what a coach. What a coaching legacy. Okay, 4th down in 8, 16.4 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And here comes the kick. And
Wow, that's a boomer.
Nice kick by Magoo. He's going to land at the 20-yard line and take a bounce for the benefit of the Lake Highlands Wildcats.
Heck of a kick.
41 yards on the kick, only 8 seconds on the clock.
We were talking about disciplinarians earlier, too. So I had a buddy. We've all had those buddies from high school, right?
Yes.
They become something other than what you thought they would be. They were derelicts in high school, right? But then they've got these positions of power or whatnot. And my buddy Ed Merrick played high school basketball with him. And Ed was a smart guy, but he was total clown. Total clown. I mean, a guy that would drive through the jack box backward, maybe with his pants on, maybe with his pants off, and all this stuff. Well, he becomes a counselor for the freshmen at my old high school. He coached basketball there, and he was a counselor. I said, "You're counseling young men?" I mean,
he knows it from experience, babe.
And I'll tell you a funny story after this next play.
All right, this should be the last play of the third quarter. Chuck Smith, handoff, right side, Evans. And he'll get taken down after a gain of about 5. So do we need to get any breaks in there, Mr. Producer? Okay, we're good on that.
Okay, so my buddy Ed, so he is a.
Is this your buddy Ed that comes to the coffee?
Yes.
Okay.
Great guy. But anyway, he is the freshman counselor. So he has, parent meetings, parent-teacher meetings and whatnot, and they come in and they meet the counselor individually. And I went to, again, Catholic high school, small, relatively small. Anyway, I lived in, our high school was in Los Angeles, San Fernando Valley, in Encino. George Wentz's son went to Crespi High School.
George Wentz from Norm on Cheers fame?
He was Norm on Cheers, and it was at the height of Cheers' popularity. So in comes, I forget what his son's name was, but he comes in for the meeting, and in comes George Wentz into the little tiny office. You're in a little high school. And he said, I so badly just wanted to jump up and say, Norm, as he walked through the door. And he said the whole time, when you're sitting there trying to talk to him about his son, right?
Right.
The whole time your mind is just on Cheers.
Yeah.
And, oh, this is Norm. And,
thinking of the old great clips.
and we just lost the great George Wentz this year. We just lost him this year.
I did not see that.
Yes, just in the last
it.
couple months. So second down and 4 at the 31-yard line. There's the snap. Handoff. First down yardage. Right to the 35-yard line. Hey, by the way, the GD family is listening tonight, and they think the spotter's doing a great job tonight. And here he is pointing out that Jackson Gare made that tackle for Jesuit. And I said it was a first down, but they're saying he's about a quarter of a yard short.
Now they're going to push him forward.
Yeah.
He got that first down.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, now they're going to go ahead and give it to him.
Yep.
Well, they didn't give it to him. He earned it.
He earned it.
Come on, Tom.
So I got to tell you, babe, you've been doing this a long time, right? 29 years. CBS 11 sports anchor. This guy Kevin Fitzsimmons is pretty good. What do you think?
Very good. That's why I left CBS 11. I knew he was coming. I said, I don't want to get fired. I'm going to go out gracefully.
Chuck Smith will fire it out to the left side. Again, they just have such a good scheme, and they've got some really explosive receivers. Another first down near midfield. But, he's really good at just firing it down the line, but they've got that. They scheme it up they've got some blockers out in front. Mag Murphy made the tackle, but very impressed.
Yeah, they've got receivers across the board, a couple of good backs. And Kevin, like you were saying, but I want to tell Chuck Smith, the quarterback, and not everybody has these kind of players at their disposal.
Yeah. But his touch and his accuracy.
No.
This is not a one-faceted team on any side of the ball. We've seen it all night.
Excuse me. To your point, Tom, they're going to be hard to handle in the playoffs.
They really are. I mean, Joe Willie Laughenberg did a great job mentoring this young man. So, 1st and 10 at midfield. Handoff. Gain of about 3.
What I really like is, and I know we're doing a Jesuit broadcast, Chuck Smith, great kid.
We see these stats now here through the first 3 quarters, guys. As Chris mentioned at halftime, Jesuit, some of the stats you look like maybe you're in the game here. The big difference, obviously, right now is rush yards, just 12 total for the Rangers to the 169 for Lake Highlands Wildcats between that duo of Rhodes and Evans. So that makes the difference here through 3 quarters. It's 52-21 Lake Highlands with 10:30 left to go in the 4th quarter.
What are the rushing yards again, Kevin? I'm sorry.
It was 12 for the Rangers and 170.
And that includes
for Lake
the
Highlands.
17 on
I think that includes all of Cooper Magoo's fake punt too. So,
but they take away those rushing yards on the sacks, right, Chris? So
the sack is a rushing yard.
Yeah. So in high school, he says. So 3rd down and about 3. Babe,
I
don't know
never
if you know this,
figured that out
but
either.
Kevin or Chris is at the same Cowboys games you're at, but he's helping Victor Villalba with the Spanish broadcasts. And so
I see Chris.
You see Chris
almost every time the game's at AT&T.
Is he working?
Well, when I see him, we're in the, when I must admit, when I see him, it's either in the hallway or the bathroom. So, or eating, yes, or eating.
3rd down.
I mean, I don't go into their booth.
Moreland is now in a running back along with Evans. Handoff, 1st down yardage again from Franklin Evans Jr. So they're just really battering that inside of the defensive line. Joe Norman, the linebacker, comes up to make the play, but another 1st down for Lake Highlands.
Yeah, and getting back to those rushing yards, and it's why Jesuit has been in 3rd and long all night, because they just haven't been able to run the ball.
Yeah.
They run the ball and they get nowhere.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed it tonight. It's been great to be with Babe Laughenberg and Kevin Fitzsimmons and Chris Martinez and Henry Jeedy. We hope you've enjoyed it. I know it's not been the way the Jesuit faithful would have liked this one to go, but hey, give credit to Lake Highlands. They are as advertised. New quarterback in the game, Babe.
Yeah.
And it looks like that's Shaw Jenkins. Handoff right side. Taken down for a loss.
That was a big hit.
Weissmuller made the play.
Shaw Jenkins, by the way, his dad is, I was going to say was, but is Ben Jenkins, Major League Baseball pitcher.
Oh, all right.
So you got to figure the genetics are good for that arm,
That's right.
I mean, I got to tell
Get
you,
an arm
Babe,
out of that as we see the big tackle here that time from, I think it was Wambacher.
I think Weissmuller as well, yeah. Joe Norman was also there. So
is there another Wambacher on the way, by the way? I mean, just like the
the
Laughenberg quarterbacks at Crespi High School?
I think this may be the last Wambacher.
That's the last one, okay. The last of the Wambackers.
2nd down, 9. The quarterback now in the game, Shaw Jenkins. Handoff, left side. Hole quickly closes. That is Sanders, the 5'9", 175-pound senior. And that'll bring up 3rd down at about 7. If you're just joining us, it's 52-21. And if you're just joining us, what happened? Why are you late? Mac Murphy made the tackle.
Tom, just be grateful that they are.
Yeah, for sure. We're so grateful. We love the Jesuit community. So when you're sitting on the charter plane tomorrow with Brad Sham, will you be talking about how much you enjoyed being with Kevin and me tonight?
Well, he's undoubtedly watching and listening, so he'll know how much.
3rd down, Shaw Jenkins rolling right, lets it go. It's almost picked off. Great defensive play. Cole Wambacher was there, and it's going to be 4th down. Wambacher took a shot, but he almost brought in the INT. Let's look at this here, Kevin, Babe.
Yeah, you see Shaw rolling out this time. It's that same sort of throw we've seen Beckberry make a couple times towards the out-of-bounds line. Looked like it went right through Wambacher's hands, but it's a good defensive play, and that forces a 4th down. It looks like Lake Highlands is going to bring on their kicking unit.
Oh, this is going to be punting. Yeah, okay.
I was going to say, that was going to be a deep field goal.
I was just going to say, that's going to be about a 50-yarder if they line up the kicking team.
So
first punt of the game?
First punt of the game.
Honestly, I'll bet you they're doing this for practice.
There's the snap. Yeah, this punter doesn't have to punt much.
No.
Fair catch is called for, and it'll take a bounce for Lake Highlands down inside the 5-yard line to about the 3. Well, guys, it's been great to be with you. And, Babe, I want to just say this. It's been so great to have you with us again. You're one of my closest friends in the world.
Boy, you don't have many friends, do you?
I ask you to do this.
People ask me about you, and I just say, I met him. I think I met him. Met him a time or two. Tim Walsh? No, Tom Walsh. Whatever.
But you come to do this as a favor, and really appreciate it.
No,
we've gotten so many texts tonight. People love hearing you on these airwaves. The fact that you gave us 2 games, I mean, he's working all week, folks. I mean, he's prepping on Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. And
people should see the notes that are all,
yeah.
noted up. He does his homework. Thanks so much, babe, for being here with us.
That's great. Yeah, he does not just roll in, folks. And tomorrow he'll be getting on a charter and flying up to Carolina to do the Cowboys on Sunday, and we'll hope you'll listen. And so it's going to be second down and about 12, as we're just under 7 minutes to go in this one. But, Kevin, you've done a great job, and we're so glad that we could do this. I'm just so excited about you and Chris Ackles taking the reins, and I'm really grateful that I get to still do some games during the year. Back to pass, Barry. Little screen pass to Shane Parker. Makes a nice move. Makes another defender miss. He's going to be close to a first down, maybe a couple yards short. There's this 3rd and 2 you're talking about, babe. Maybe 3rd and 3.
There we go.
Glad to see these Jesuit seniors continuing to get some minutes here as the clock winds down in the 4th quarter on senior night. Hopefully maybe the Rangers offense can put something else together, a long drive down the field here and get in the end zone one more time. It's been a long night, I know, for the offense, ultimately for the defense, especially against this talented Lake Highlands team. And there's Beck Berry trying to get a few yards, not going to get the first down.
No, that defense is still swarming out there. Jack Boland made the last tackle. This one was Jeremiah Lane.
Looks like they're going to leave the offense out there on 4th down.
4th down.
No. Okay, here they come. Sorry.
I thought they were as well, babe.
He must have been thinking about it because the punt team came on.
Maybe another
late.
Cooper Magoo fake punt.
Hey, why not?
Couple
They're
of them
2 for
have worked
2
so far.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's
sustained drives.
When you think about it, it's amazing the quick scores we had in the first half. I mean, just back and forth we went. Remember, at one point, folks, it was 21-14 before Lake Highlands pulled away in this one, and we're very impressed with them. There's Magoo's kick. He's got a nice leg, doesn't he? I mean, that's a good kick, and that's going to bounce just shy of midfield and take a Jesuit bounce all the way down to the 34-yard line. I mean, Chris, that is a 54-yard kick.
Wow.
Cooper Magoo's been busy in lots of ways tonight. That's a great punt. I want to give a quick shout-out to our 4th quarter sponsor, Rockmore Roofing Solutions. From kickoff to the final whistle, Rockmore Roofing has you covered. Proudly serving our neighbors and supporting Jesuit Rangers football. That's our 4th quarter sponsor, Tom, with 5:11 left to go here in the game.
Yep, 5:11 to go here in the ball game.
I don't want to tell people how to do their job, but next time you have senior night, bring a team in you can beat. You know what I'm saying?
This is a tough one. This is a tough one.
Homecoming in a couple of weeks against Richardson. I think maybe we're gonna try to get them then.
Okay.
How's that?
You got 2 games, right? I mean, senior night and homecoming. Any other?
But I got to tell you guys, Richardson Eagles are tough.
Okay.
They have gotten good. I mean, the Eagles, kind of known as a basketball school of late, they've gotten to the Final Four recently here in 6A as the ball carriers throw down behind the line of scrimmage. Dean Gafford with a nice play came in and penetrated and made the tackle.
When I was at Indiana, we weren't the Indiana of today, who, by the way, are going duck hunting tomorrow in Eugene.
Really?
Yeah. Indiana, Oregon.
That's number 7 versus number 3.
Yeah.
Number 7 Indiana versus number 3 Oregon. Notice how I knew those rankings?
A Big Ten matchup, I think, Indiana versus Oregon.
I know. I still have not wrapped my arms around that. Any part of it,
Sure.
USC, Ohio State, Big Ten matchup. Watch it. I'm like, oh, that's right.
Second down 11.
IU trying to rewrite theirs as well. Football school now.
Yeah, they've gotten the excellent Cade Weissmuller made the play on Shaw Jenkins, the quarterback keeper. I'm going. What's the name of the Indiana football coach? I'm going blank.
Cignetti.
Kurt Cignetti. I mean, give that guy some credit.
Oh.
I mean, he has turned around. Of course, they were great when you were there.
We were so good that Lee Corso got fired after my senior year. No.
But you got to give this guy some credit. You went up to
he's done great.
Babe, you went up to Notre Dame last year and watched the playoff game.
I went to that playoff game.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I was there too. It was a great
atmosphere.
atmosphere.
Were you there?
Yes, sir.
Cold.
Yeah, it was very cold.
It was awesome up until the kickoff.
Third down.
That's right. That
then
first
it was downhill.
kickoff.
Sean Jenkins trying to get that first down stick, and he will. Show it to the ball comes out. It's still, I think Jesuit may have gotten it at the 41-yard line.
Did he stay in bounds?
He
sure
stayed
did.
in bounds.
Sure
Shaw
did.
Jenkins had the first down. Someone punched it out.
It was Gabriel James, I think, that time. You talked about it, babe, not even really going for the tackle.
No, that
wasn't. Watch him. Maybe you'll get a look here on the replay. Watch him swing his left arm as he gets out there. That's a great stiff arm at first by Shaw, but there's James on the chase. He'll get his
Here it
left
comes,
arm in there
boom.
and pop it out, and the ball just stays inside the line. Great
How
work
did
by
that
our
ball
cameraman.
stay in bounds?
I know, that was incredible.
Joe Norman made the recovery, but yeah.
You know, they call that the peanut punch.
Yes.
Peanut Tillman from the Bears was the first one to really
do that.
Do it all the time. And it's incredible. He has like 48 forced fumbles.
Handoff right side. Nice run by Meyer. You know, hey, last week we saw the linebacker from Notre Dame. I'm going blank.
Maris Leofow
punched it out
Huge play
on Brees Hall.
That was if we have Cowboy fans out here. That's the beauty of this broadcast. But that's a 10-3 game, and the Jets are going in for a score.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be 10-10.
He had just made a big run for a lot of yardage.
Punched it out, and Cowboys scored on that possession.
Handoff, left side. Good run to about the 45-yard line. That's Judson Harris, the 5'10", 170-pound junior.
J.P. Livingston in at quarterback, it looks like, for the Rangers now as well, Tom. So the backup's in here as we wrap up this fourth quarter. Judd Harris's first run of the game so far.
Dormany made the tackle. You know, and we talked about this earlier, Kevin, but, you know, Livingston's first cousin, Babe, is the star wide receiver for the University of Texas.
Yeah.
Who made the...
I believe he just had it right up in the Dallas Morning News,
yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. But
and you know, seems to be you and I. We were down at the UT-UTEP game together, and we saw him on the field. He looks every bit as advertised. Long throw by Livingston, who last time when we called the Highland Park game, I said he looks right out of Central Casting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Livingston's got the size, as O'Solar Roller was on the coverage, but he's 6'3". He's only a sophomore, so I think it's a good move here to get him some good reps against, obviously Lake Highlands got a lot of their backups in, but hey, these are valuable reps, right, Babe?
Absolutely. People say garbage time or whatever. Hey, you drop him back, you're throwing the football.
Little draw play. Again, the white jersey swarm. Gain of about a half a yard to the 45-yard line to bring up fourth down at about 5. Dylan Smith.
So who's next up for Jesuit? MacArthur.
Next week we're back out at Irving.
Back in Irving,
against
okay.
MacArthur. MacArthur, the other team that Lake Highlands has played so far this year and got them pretty good, I think 49-0. So hopefully the Rangers can go into Irving and get another win on a Thursday night next week.
Thursday night game.
Babe, can you talk about, after a tough game like this, a hard-fought game by the Rangers, as we call timeout here with 2 minutes left, a 2-minute timeout here in the fourth quarter, what's the mindset of Coach Hickman and these guys as you wrap up this game, as you get ready for next week? What are you telling the guys for them to get ready for the next matchup after this?
Yeah, I think like all coaches, they're a lot harder on you after you win. Your job now is kind of pick them back up, get their confidence going, especially with young kids like these are high school kids.
Yeah.
You start getting down on yourself. You don't believe in yourself. You don't think people believe in you. So now that job is to get their confidence back up and tell them, hey, we can do this. As opposed to Coach Campbell on the other side telling his guys, hey, we made a lot of mistakes out there. It is funny how that works, right?
That's right. That's right. Hard on yourselves after a win. Oh,
Livingston had him.
He had him. Caden Prophet was out there, and if he was able to connect on that, zipped it out there as Dormany was on the coverage, but Prophet could have gone in, and the Rangers will turn it over on downs.
You'll see this one more time, just over the middle here. A nice drop back, as you mentioned, Tommy. Looks every bit the part. Just a little overthrown, and Prophet can't get to it.
And that'll be a ball after he throws a couple more of those, and a year from now, he'll be hitting them.
That's exactly
You got to get out there, and you just got to get out and play.
Kevin, there was 3 years ago, I was watching UCLA on a Saturday night at 11 o'clock at night on whatever the late Pac-12 game is, and
clearly you had a bet on the game.
No,
Nobody else stays up that late.
No betting. I'm watching it, but you were watching it too. I don't know if it was against Hawaii, because I know.
Oh, it could have been Hawaii.
Yeah, because I knew you were watching it, and I texted you and I said, "Hey, can you believe the quarterback, made that mistake in the end zone?" And Babe's response to me was, "Hey, Tom, things are happening fast back there."
Fast.
Kind of back to the point of sitting in your living room. It's not as hard.
That's like I love when people say, "Oh, he's got to throw that away." You're in the pocket where you want him to throw it.
Right.
And if you knew you were going to get sacked, yes, you would have done something differently. But you're looking downfield.
You're trying to make a play.
You're trying to make a play, and all of a sudden that thing collapses. You don't always have the luxury of sitting on your
living room eating your pizza going, oh, you got to throw that away.
Couple of big bodies in front of you, too, that obstruct your vision, I think.
You know, to the point, too, of, you know, when you win, coaches are hard on you. When you lose, they want to kind of pretty much pick you back up. Anyway, Phil Simms tells the story. He had just said, I played great on a Sunday. He was going to go home, have a nice dinner.
This is not in his days at Morehead State.
No. This was with the New York Giants. Bill Parcells was his head coach. And he said he had had a good game on Sunday. Forget who they played, but it was Monday. They went back in, watched the film. He's going to go home. He said he's going to watch the Monday night game, have a nice dinner with his wife. And Parcells walked by and said, hey, you did okay yesterday, kid. And Phil said, I don't know what got into me. He said, but I just stood up and said, hey, Coach, you know I played great and you know it. And Parcells stopped and looked at him and said, if you thought that was great, my expectations for you are greater than your expectations for yourself.
Wow.
So Phil just said, I just kind of sat back down. You know.
Great coaches have a way of doing that, don't they? To make you kind of want to continue to get better and play hard and go back at it the next week, right, babe?
Well, Lake Highlands takes a knee for 3 times, and that will do it here tonight. It's been so much fun to be with Babe Laughenberg, Kevin Fitzsimmons, Chris Martinez, and Henry Geedy, and our friends from Tradio who did such a great job. That's Tradio, TR3DIO, and we're appreciative of all they do. If you like these replays, I mean, folks,
I like the replays.
I love the replays, and do a great job and really care and want to make it a first-class broadcast. We get to talk, and we get the easy work, but thanks to Tradio, and we're so glad you could join us for Ranger football night here
Tom,
on
now
Tradio.
I can say I worked with Dan Rather and I worked with Kevin. and don't ask me which one I enjoyed more, because I'd have to flip a coin.
Well, let me be clear. Do you think I'm a good MC? Don't have to answer that, babe.
Remember, you're like the corpse at the Irish wake.
Necessary.
Not supposed to say anything, but they need you to throw the party.
Need you to throw the party. Well, anyways, that is going to do it here from tonight. We have the post-game show upcoming, and that, of course, is sponsored by My Dentist. Mosley Dental Group. You know, I was there about a month ago, sat in the chair, and Kevin Fitzsimmons, you also go to Mosley Dental Group, and Rachel is our great dental technician, and she takes great care of us, located just south of 635 on Hillcrest Road, Mosley Dental Group. At Mosley Dental, we provide advanced dental solutions and personal attention to our patient family. We promise you will never feel like an anonymous number on a chart. Instead, we'll greet you warmly by name and look forward to your visits as time spent with a friend. When you go in there, say, hey, Mosley Dental Group, Dr. Mosley, Tom Walsh, Kevin Fitzsimmons. We love listening to them with that other guy on the air, and Babe Laughenberg, and tell him that you heard his sponsorship and how much you appreciate it. Well, guys, let's get into the post-game analysis. You know, unlike the Cowboys Network, where y'all would take a break and go hear from some other commercials, we're going right into it. We're now in the Mosley Dental Group post-game show, babe.
I love it.
Thank you for being here. Your analysis, kind of overall thoughts of what we saw tonight. Start with Lake. Why don't you talk about Lake Highlands? We'll let Kevin talk about Jesuit, but you're friends with Chuck Smith's dad and your son, Joe Willie. We've talked about it. Helped tutor this young man.
Yeah, and I'm sorry he did now after watching that. You know?
I mean, he was outstanding.
Joe Willie did too good of a job, babe.
Yes.
I mean, check it out, babe. So what are your thoughts on
Well,
Lake
the rushing
Highlands?
yards are the ones that just jump out at you, obviously, 200 to 25, basically. And, passing yards, pretty even, but a lot of touchdowns, though, by Chuck Smith on his side. But I thought, hey, this isn't a revelation. Lake Highlands was a more talented team. They played like it. But I liked what I saw from the Jesuit group just in terms of the fight. And I really thought they stayed in the game and, made it close a couple times where it looked like they were going to threaten, but they just couldn't get off the field. They couldn't get Lake Highlands offense off the field until they scored.
Yeah, I mean, it was 21. It was at one point it was 21-14. Then it became 35-21. But you're right. It was just you could not stop Chuck Smith. And I don't want to, I'm not sure what the right word is here, but I mean, I don't want to overdo it. But I mean, the guys just got incredible touch. I mean, we saw. It seemed like even the passes that were incomplete were right there. And I'm hoping that there's going to be some college out there, Boise State or one of our local schools. I mean, come watch this kid play. I mean, and he's a little taller than I thought. They list him at 6'1". I mean, the guy can play football.
Yep, and it's important to him. You can see he loves it. I mean, I know how hard he works at it. So some school, I don't know which school, but somebody's going to get a good quarterback. And again, you can't get wrapped up in the height and the weight. At the NFL level, yes, it becomes a different game. We're going to see Bryce Young. He's just at such a disadvantage, just that size of you know.
But in
there's
college,
a reason why the Josh Allens of the world are sitting there dominating the NFL.
But and let's also real quick comment on Christian Rhodes. I mean, the outstanding running back, the one that commit to SMU. I'm excited about that. So was Henry Jeedy. But this kid was amazing.
Yeah, Rhett Lashie's going to get a good one if he's still at SMU, and I think he will be.
Please, Rhett, don't leave. I mean,
you already had one leave on you.
Yeah, is it Arkansas that's supposed to be looking at?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything other than what I read, but everybody obviously is playing connect the dots. He went to school there. He grew up in Arkansas, and so it's like the whole Jimmy Johnson, Jerry Jones. When they first got here, right? Oh, they were best buddies. They roomed together, and when the breakup happened, then they only roomed together because it was alphabetical, Jones and Johnson, right? So it took a different spin.
Kevin, what did you think? Comment on Jesuit and, of course, on Lake Highlands as well.
Well, like you mentioned, Tom, they were in it early. You know, you give up a couple of big plays like they did and still hang around for that first quarter and a half at least, and you got a little bit of a good feeling. But ultimately, I think Babe mentioned it, just Lake Highlands, a few too many talented, players on the position, skills positions especially. When you look at the running backs, the wide receivers, the way that Chuck Smith was able to throw it all around the field tonight. I think Jesuit's defense is going to look and say, what can we do to contain some of those big plays, those big players? How can we keep those guys in check? If your Jesuits offense, especially in the first half, looked pretty good, I think, had a couple of big plays of our own. It was great to see Shane Parker back in the mix with the big touchdown, on kind of the double fake, a couple of fun fake trick plays, the punts, a few things go your way with some of the fourth downs and the penalties. So all in all, I think, Babe mentioned it's time to pick yourselves back up and go out. We've been talking about it all season long. District is the only thing that matters. This is our first loss in district, likely to the team that's going to be the best in district and win. And so, you hang your heads high for the rest of the night tonight and then go on and win the rest of district now.
And if you can win, and I think every other team in this district is beatable. I think they're beatable. And if you can only have this loss to Lake Highlands, you can be the number one seed going into – and remember, Lake Highlands is a much bigger school. So, as we all know, 4 teams out of this district will make the playoffs. The top 2 with the largest population of enrollment will go to 6A Division I. The next 2 will go to Division II. Jesuit, as the smallest team in the whole district, is always going to go to Division II. So if you can only have the one loss, you'll get the top seed in Division II. So you still have all your goals in front of you. I know I sound like a broken record, but all your goals can still be in front of you. You can still get a top seed, Division II, and thank goodness Lake Highlands will be in Division I because they are very good indeed. Babe, let's very quickly, I'm going to hand my headset over to Chris Martinez and let him give us some stats, and then we'll come back for final thoughts on the Mosley Dental Group halftime show. Well, I'm giving this to Chris. Kevin, how about you read our Veritex, our title sponsor, one more time?
Sure. Thanks to Veritex, our title sponsor. Veritex Bank is proud to serve as the official bank of the Jesuit Dallas Rangers. We share a strong commitment to serving the community and making a difference in the lives of others. Learn how our shared values make Veritex Bank and Jesuit a winning team at www.veritexbank.com, member FDIC. Chris Martinez, what did you see from a statistical perspective out there?
I mean, just a couple of interesting things. We talked a lot about Chuck Smith today, 19 completions for 270 yards, 5 touchdown passes, all in the first half. Just a nice dominating thing. Do you realize that Jesuit did not have one penalty against them tonight?
Wow.
The entire game. The entire game.
Wow.
And there was no penalties called on either team in the second half. Wow. So, and then here you talked about Christian Rhodes. He had 109 yards in the first half, including that 63-yard touchdown. In the second half, 4 carries for 9 yards.
Yeah, they did a much better. I don't know what they did at halftime, but they made whatever adjustments they made. I liked them.
And he had a big catch for a touchdown, didn't he, too, in the first half
he
as
did
well.
Up the sideline, little swing screen.
He did it for, on the ground and in the air.
And the game just turned early on. Obviously, they won 2 turnovers by Jesuit. I mean, it was a 4th down, dropped punt. snap, and it's not technically a turnover. Would that be correct, Chris? Just downs, but long and short, they had a 30-yard drive and 11-yard drive, like Highlands did, to go up 14-0. Now that's just a little demoralizing.
Yeah, that's very tough. So, guys, I guess to finish this thing up on the Mosley Dental Group post-game show, I guess maybe the thing you think that I did the best tonight, followed by you, Kevin. No, how about this?
Well, hey, Tom, what's the number one thing in life?
Show up.
Got to show up. You showed up.
And I got to tell you, you showed up. And, babe, we know how busy you are.
Good.
You
this
could
is great.
be doing so many things.
I enjoyed it. Mr. Kevin,
yeah,
enjoyed it.
Thank you, babe.
You guys were both great, Kevin Fitzsimmons. So, babe, let you give your final thoughts. Kevin, let you go, and then I'll give mine.
Kevin, start us off.
So, as we mentioned, I think the rest of the district here important now. Babe talked about it for the coaching staff. You pick your guys up this week. It's a short week, a Thursday game. You got to come ready at MacArthur next week to play well and to get back on the right track. I think the most important thing after a loss is to get the next win.
Yeah, and I don't know how big this will go over with the school and the administration, but I think you just don't have the kids go to school. You just look at film, get in the weight room, and go play next Thursday. Is that not endorsed by
we would not,
the Jesuit community?
Tom Garrison, our principal, would not endorse that.
Well, don't tell him.
All right.
He's going golfing Monday, right? I mean, we heard that.
There you go. That's right.
But it's part of his job duties, right? It's the Modus Golf Tournament, which I know. I'll just say this. One of my favorite moments, it involves your dad, Kevin. It involves Babe Laughenberg. And, of course, this was all set up, but it went over so well. I do a lot of MC duties around here. Normally I would MC the post-Jesuit golf tournament award ceremony where we gave out the different prizes. And your dad got up there and he said, hey, I'm going to call up our MC for the awards show. And, of course, he's well known to the Jesuit community. And he's a sports broadcaster. And he's saying this. I get up and I start walking up to the front like I think he's introducing me. And as I get to the front, your dad stops and he says, Tom, what are you doing? And I said, I thought you were introducing me. And he says, no, it's the guy behind you, Babe Laughenberg.
So I was there.
and Babe, who had just done his sports show, his 6 o'clock on CBS 11 at 6 o'clock. He had done it from the Stonebriar Country Club, and then Babe got up and did do a great job emceeing the awards ceremony. It was really funny. People loved it. But let you give your serious final thoughts.
But I'm no Tom Walsh.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I swear I love watching the high school football and watching these kids, and I know how much they put into it. I'm disappointed for the kids. No one likes to lose.
Right.
But that's the beauty of sports. So you get another one the next week.
Yeah, and this is one of those times when I think the Thursday short week. These kids are going to want to get this taste out of their mouth. Right. No one wants to have that defeat, and they can get out there and compete against a team from MacArthur, which I'm hearing from a lot of my sources is much improved from last year. So I think it's going to be a tough one, and we'll look forward, Kevin, to you and Chris Ackles and Tradio and Chris Martinez, Henry Geedy being over there. Carson Long will be back. Hey, thanks to Henry Geedy. He did a great job tonight. I mean, an amazing job. I've known this young man, I don't know, since he was like third grade, second grade.
Wow.
And his sister and one of my daughter's very close friends were family friends, but Henry did a great job. Thanks to Chris Martinez, who always brings it. Number one, as Kevin said, the most celebrated statistician in sports, and was not on an exotic cruise for one. So
that's right.
Have him here. It was nice to have him here. Thank you to Kevin Fitzsimmons.
Thank you, Tom.
I was proud to be his confirmation sponsor back when he was an 8th grader.
Wow.
And Bishop Lynch Award winner at Jesuit, just a fine young man.
What was your confirmation name, Kevin?
Tom.
Peter.
Tom.
Tom.
It was Peter. Okay. But thanks to Kevin. Thank you to Babe Laughenberg.
Was Tom one of the disciples? Are you going to try to throw that at us now, too?
Yeah, right. But, yeah. Anyway,
Peter, Paul, and Tom.
Yeah. But thank you to Babe.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you to Tradio. We hope you'll appreciate what Tradio, the great work they're doing.
Nice
Let's
job.
get one last look on the screen of our wonderful sponsors before we say goodbye. I know that we're going to pull them up here in just a moment, and if you see the sponsors on here, please go and thank them for their support of our broadcasts.
Ranger Football Night is proudly presented by the following sponsors: Wright Legal PLLC Attorneys and Counselors, Complete Land Sculpture, Vanguard GMC Ford Kia and Volkswagen, Veritex Community Bank, Rockmore Roofing Systems, Barrel and Bones, Craft Bar and Smokehouse, Mosley Dental Group, and UT Southwestern Simmons Cancer Center. On behalf of the Jesuit Sports Network and this production of Ranger Football Night, thank you, sponsors.